You're listening to Local Play Only.
What's going on, guys? You're listening to the Local Play Only podcast. I'm Phil.
I'm Cam.
And I'm Andrew.
And we're back for episode 4.
Season 2, episode 4.
Season 2, episode 4.
Is this the first recording of 2020?
It is.
Like our first recording? I feel like the last one we did was before New Year's.
Was it?
I don't know.
Now I'm lost.
Yeah, it was, because we did D&D on the first, right?
Yeah.
And that's the night that we put it out. But
So we did it. Yeah,
prior
we did
to
that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
So this
first
is the
podcast of
first
2020.
podcast of 2020.
And I'm sick.
Yay!
Yay! That's why I have all these tissues here.
We thought it was for
and
another reason.
Yeah, it's gonna be such a good podcast.
Product placement will just turn that around.
Yeah, if I have to, blow my nose or anything like that, I will mute myself just for the
thank
good of
you.
everybody. And then
Thank
if I ever
you.
get a little quiet, just because I'm letting it relax. And
Thanks,
I got
buddy.
some Neo Citron here, some fisherman friends here, so I'm ready to go.
How long have you been sick for?
I mean, let's start by saying it's your fault I am sick, and I get like 2 days now. I think the amount of work I actually put into this place made me more sick. Because
You didn't take any R&R, bud.
No, both days I was off. I spent the entire days working on this room. Like, it took me like 4 hours to set the lights up. It looks obviously very obvious, but I switched this room into every possible position it can go into. So I had one where the table's over there and the camera's over
room
there.
Tetris.
And it was just everywhere.
I think that it turned out pretty well.
I think so. You can
Pretty
obviously
much.
see the difference in the lighting right away. There's other things too, like all of these foam boards, they're actually up with command strips. So you can just pull them off and move them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, didn't you like fuck up one of your walls?
It was this room. Back before I redid this room, the whole walls were like, they were all messed up with like because I just used to
adhesive and stuff like that.
I used to spray adhesive on the foam and just put it on the wall. And then later you come down and rips it
no.
all.
Yeah, but then he stapled them to the wall.
Yeah, I did.
Oh no.
So these rooms now, this one's all command strips. So the command strips, even when you're done, you just pull this gooey stuff out and it's off the wall. No paint removal, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, and they can be
Wow.
moved around too, which is kind of fun.
So you've been doing that
Yeah,
and being sick.
and being sick and getting a lot of Netflix done.
Oh yeah.
I can't-
finish The Witcher.
I can't
by the
play
way.
games when I'm sick. I don't know if that's the
Really?
same with you
Really?
guys. Yeah, I
Oh
can't.
no, that's prime time, bud.
Yeah.
I don't have the focus. I just kind of fall in and out of sleep. So just watching previous things I've seen on Netflix is like the only thing I could do.
Huh.
I can't play anything like too serious. Like I can't play a game that's like kind of going to test my like
Twitch platformers and stuff
exactly.
like Meat Boy or something like that. You wouldn't be able to play that sick.
No, because I don't
Can
have
you
the
play
energy for
Bloodborne?
it. I don't think so.
I could, but not very well.
Can you beat all the Valkyries on God of War on the hardest difficulty?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Can you do that when you're not sick?
I think I could play maybe like a Telltale game or
That's
like
fair. The Hannah Montana game for Xbox 360.
I probably wouldn't even play that when I'm not sick. So
Oh, he only plays it for the DS.
that's correct.
Was
yeah.
there actually a DS version of
Yeah,
that?
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
I know there was an Allie and AJ game for the DS.
Oh, those are my two favorite. The Chalka. What were their names?
Allie and AJ.
Their last names.
I don't know.
It was something close to
I
what
don't
Who
even
the
I
remember
hell
what they're
knew their
in.
last names?
Everyone. They were in Easy A. I saw that the other day, or one
Of them's an
Yeah,
easy.
the only one that matters. The same one from
Hey.
Phil in the Future.
I like the wait. I don't know which one's which, so I can't say I like the other one better. I don't remember.
I think Allie is the one from Phil in the Future.
I think so.
Okay, well,
It's a good
now
time.
that we've settled that, so have you guys been playing anything this week?
Well, I'll start first. So remember I have that beta game on New Year's.
Did you do it?
I did. You were there for it because I finished it at D&D. I beat the original Shovel Knight, so the Shovel of Hope.
Fun fact: I was actually there when Phil beat a game too,
Yeah.
Technically, yes.
because
So-
it was after midnight on New Year's.
No.
Ah.
Was it not?
It was no. Oh
After,
yeah.
It was after midnight on New Year's Eve.
Yes, that's correct.
So it was
Yeah,
New
so
Year's
it was
Day.
New Year's Day.
So halfway, so I had a party at my house. We had a few people over. We were having some drinks, and then I kind of was. I was on the margaritas a little bit, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna play some Dragon Quest
Now's the
11.
time.
And like, there's a bunch of people like drinking and playing games, like card games and stuff, and like Never Have I Ever behind me, and I'm just playing a turn-based RPG.
You guys are nerds.
And
But
one of
you
the
did it,
guys,
though.
one of the guys came over to me and he's like, "Man, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm on the last boss of a Dragon Quest here. I'm just trying to beat it." He's like, "Do you not think that you could do that like at another time?" I'm like, "No, I got a lot of motivation right now. I have Cam beside me, kind of like semi-coaching me. I'm like, oh man, should I hit the heel now or should I go for the next move?" Cam's like, you got to hit the heal now
always
because the
gotta.
next move.
Did you learn
is
how
gonna
to
be
use
this.
buffs and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
he didn't seem like a big buffer before.
I did use buffs before, but not to like an extreme extent, you know. But I'm happy that I completed it to the extent that I did. I know you guys are gonna say I didn't technically complete it, but I'm still happy with the.
You can finish the game at that point and be satisfied, but obviously knowing that there's like 15 hours more is pretty cool.
And it's not just like it is mainly just like one boss, but the actual like story is still really good in those 15 hours too.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, as I said multiple times on the podcast, I love that game. Like, it's one of my favorite games of all time. I didn't include it in my decade list, but that's just because I don't know how it's going to sit with me going forward.
Yeah, you could not give a shit about it next week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for the moment, like, I really feel like a lot of attachment to it, and I just have only positive things to say about it. I won't even say that there was a point that I felt that there was any filler in that game. There wasn't even any characters that I felt were kind of useless.
So there was filler in the game. It was called side quests, and you didn't do any of them.
Yeah, but even the side quests were very funny.
Yeah. Like I was joking in the last podcast, or 2 podcasts ago, there's one where you try and get a bunny outfit for one of your characters.
Yes, I think I've seen gameplay of
Yeah,
that.
and-
And people were outraged by it, weren't they?
Well, of course people are. It's Japan. They don't give a shit.
It was like, it has to do with Rab or something, right?
Huh?
Excuse me.
I think Rab is generally the perverted old man.
Oh, I thought you
character.
said rap. And I was like,
No.
what the hell does it have to do with rap?
No.
Nothing to do with Rab.
Yeah. No, it was a different old dude. He was in the Italian village. He was up by the beach. He's like, oh, one of my last things I'd like to do is see a girl in a bunny outfit.
Oh, it was the casino town.
Yeah, the casino town.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get it for him, and he's like, cool, thanks. And then that's it. But then you get to keep the costume.
But yeah, I'm happy I beat that. I beat King of Cards as well. So I'm finally like done Shovel Knight. Happy with it, even though the game's kind of old now. How did you feel about the final boss?
In Shovel Knight,
Yeah,
the
Shovel
last
Knight.
boss was actually easy. In regular Shovel Knight, it was the second last level that I've been stuck on for like 2 years, where you fight the gauntlet of all of the bosses. Yes. So like it was the second game I ever bought on my Switch.
I found that part really easy.
You never even touched the game, so don't even.
I've touched it.
Have you?
Yeah, you had a demo before.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, that was freaking hard fighting all of them and restarting. So I started at about 11 o'clock on New Year's Day, maybe 10 o'clock, somewhere in between there. And legit 3 hours of it were just getting used to the bosses again, because it's been
So
probably
long.
7 months since I've tried it again. And the one that I had the most trouble with till I just found out a really busted strategy was the shovel. Like he's got the snow shovel.
Oh yes.
I can't think of his name right now, but him. I just used the bouncy orb thing, and just like when he went in the corner, I just threw them, and I ended up beating him. And once I could beat him, everyone else was fine.
How satisfying was it when you finally did?
I legit did that thing where like only kids do, where they jump up and they're like, "Yeah, whoa!" And my wife was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like,
Felt alpha.
"Yeah, I did." I was like, "Yeah, whoa!" And that was it. But it was good. I felt pretty good.
That's how I felt with King of Cards as well. Like, I obviously wasn't stuck on it to the extent that you were.
No.
But like for 2 days, and even like when I talked about it I don't know if I talked about it on the last podcast or if it was just.
I think you said
between
you
us.
started it.
I know I talked to you the next day when you stayed up way too late.
Yes.
Trying to beat it.
So like the one night last week, I decided that I was going to go through and play it. I beat the majority of the actual levels, got to what I considered the final boss. Was not the final boss, realized that there was another 3 levels afterwards. Then I got to what was considered the final boss, was stuck on it for a good period of time, finally beat him. And the thing is like, you know, when you get into a rhythm and like you're so close to the end of a game and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and you're just like, man, if I don't beat this, tonight's going to be for nothing. I stayed up for nothing.
Oh, I've been there, Phil.
So I got to that point and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to try this 2 more times. And if I die, I'm going to go to bed. I finally beat him. I did like the thing where I was so hyped.
Yeah.
And then realized there was a second form. And I'm like, oh my God, no.
And if you lose to the second form, you have to refight the first one
Yep.
too. Oh,
Yep.
that's a classic.
And your health doesn't regenerate. So like I had like 1 sliver of health left for like the final form boss. And like he just destroyed me. But then was it yesterday? It was yesterday, maybe 2 days ago when I finally beat
Must
it.
have been 2 days ago.
I think it was 2.
Yeah. When I finally went back and did it, it took me a bunch of tries, but I finally was able to beat the boss. And
I'm proud of you, bud.
I was very happy. And I'm kind of happy that I can walk away from that game and focus now
On other games.
on Astral Chain, because that's what I've moved on to.
Ooh.
Yeah.
My next one's Hollow Knight.
Thank you.
I was grinding on Pokemon today, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna restart Hollow Knight. I have no idea where I am. I beat the Mantis Lords. That's the last thing I remember doing that was of importance.
Yeah.
Maybe getting to like the underground tram area, and then I was like, I have no idea where the hell I'm going. The one place was too dark. I couldn't see anything. I got through it just by dying over and over again, and then it was in a place that I wasn't supposed to be. So I'm like, I'm just gonna restart and do it again.
I think I'm gonna start the game where I swaddle myself in blankets and sleep.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna take like a little bit of a gaming break, like for a week,
yeah.
just until I'm less sick, because
So, like,
I
the
literally can't focus on anything.
Very hungry caterpillar. You're just gonna eat a bunch and then turn into a.
I can't
cocoon?
eat anything. I bought soup today to see if that helps.
Perfect for cutting season.
It is good for cutting season. That's one thing that's going on
Is
right
it
now.
chicken noodle soup?
It's just I bought a bunch of weird soups. One's like a spicy Thai one.
That's not gonna be as good. You're supposed to get chicken noodle soup, man.
I bought one chicken noodle soup too.
Then eat that one first.
I'll eat all of them at once.
Ew.
Why not?
Ew.
So I guess we'll get into like the main topic,
The meat of the
the
discussion.
meat of this podcast.
Hey,
Since we're obviously
I don't
in
eat meat.
my
The
bad,
fish
sir.
of the.
Thank you.
2 birds with 1 scone.
God bless you, Ken.
Since we're in a new decade now, the podcast today and our last episode was kind of about the last.
Year.
Yeah, it was kind of like we've had ones about talking about like the future a little bit and ones talking about the past, but this is just like game of the decade. We're gonna do our top 10 in no order. We're gonna order them by date. That way, if we all have
Year, not date, but.
yeah, same. Well, I did mine by date and year
Oh, I didn't write the
because
dates.
if you have 4 that come out in 2018,
Oh.
I can guess the order. That's fine.
probably. But we're gonna do it by year, because then if we all have the same one, instead of us, one of us having it number 6, one having it number 7, and we talk about it at different times,
Yeah.
it'll all come up at the same time, and we can all have one nice conversation on it.
Yeah, I'm on board.
And then after that, we're going to pick our number 1. So it's going to be on the list, obviously, but what is our game of the decade? Like a personal opinion. And then we're going to pick the most influential one. So that could mean, in your opinion, even if you didn't play this game or beat this game, what like has changed gaming in the past decade? What like hit you the most? What hit other people the most? It's just really how you interpret it, really.
Okay.
So there could be all different answers. Could have all the same answer. I don't know. We'll find out.
Hell yeah, brother.
So I guess the easiest way to start then is just
2010.
In 2010.
Does anyone have any games in 2010?
We're all busting the
Oh,
notes
yeah.
out. Oh, I don't.
I do.
2010 was an amazing year for video games, at least for me.
It was really good.
Are we gonna? Do you want me to tell you all of the games I have?
Oh yeah, you can
Okay.
do. You guys can do one at a
Yeah,
time.
I was going to say, and then if we have the same game, I'll hop on and go.
So I have Red Dead Redemption 1.
I don't have that, but
I just think that overall, the memories I have with that game, I just loved it from start to finish. I felt fully like into the story. I can still remember like thinking that the game's over, then going to Mexico, and then it opening up more of the map. And
See, I've never played Red Dead 1. I played Red Dead Revolver, which I don't remember what system did Red Dead Revolver. come out?
Xbox original and
Okay.
PS2, I think.
I don't remember where I played it, but I played that a lot,
Oh.
and I thought it was really fun. But I
See-
never played Red Dead.
I liked the first one. I now do not like the first one because the second one has somebody that should be the most important person ever in the first game, and he's not mentioned once.
it's too hard to bring them up, man. Too many bad memories.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I just Huh?
Huh?
The first one's a sequel, or
Yeah.
sorry, the second one's a prequel.
Yeah.
There's a character in the second one who is extremely important. That is extremely important to the main character of the first game.
And the thing is
Not mentioned once.
a lot of the characters from the first one are in the second one,
Kind of just shoehorned in, but yeah.
but they're just they just make no mention of the main character,
No.
which is kind of dumb because he's very crucial to John Marston.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Isn't John Marston also the actor? What's that guy's name?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? He's from Hop. He's in the new Sonic movie.
Hop.
Oh, like that. Okay, I know.
His name's like James.
It's
Marsden
really
or something like
close.
that.
I think
It
it's
is-
James
it is very
Marsden.
close. I
I-
always got them confused.
Yeah. So we're gonna a tad spoiler on RDR 2. Basically, the main character is basically the first game's pseudo dad. Like he's the guy who's more or less taught him.
He's like his role model.
Yeah, and not mentioned once in the first game. at all.
Well, it's the memories are too hard to think
That's
about.
what
That's their bullshit excuse. But
Yeah.
like, you feel like when the other guy is gonna hit one of the other people that used to be in a squad and be like, "This happened to blah blah blah," not once.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's just kind of what happens when people write things later.
then don't do prequels, do sequels.
But it's fun because people already have this attachment to like the time and the place and the characters.
Then
and
do a
it's
completely
easier
different
than
area.
it's easier than having to do it, and they wanted to make it easier.
It is difficult because of the time period. If you did like a sequel, you'd have to do it very, very close to
Or
number
do
one.
like the same time, but
a
other
different
side of
set.
the world, or like not other side of the world, but the other side of the West.
Yeah.
They don't have to be conveniently in the same area that the first game was.
But I don't think that can take away from the first one. The first one still is an amazing game with great
It's too bad.
gameplay.
I was like,
Should've fucked it up.
like I said, if you asked me this before I played Red Dead 2, I would have said Red Dead 1's probably one of the best 360 games that I played.
Okay, so if like Breath of the Wild 2 just shits
Completely retcons everything wrong. Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking it down.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How can you
Do you want me to
do
save
that?
this? Do you want me to save it to one of the buttons?
No, don't do that. No, I just Breath of the Wild won't do that. But no, I just something like irks me the wrong way that like made me go like, man, you didn't like forethink anything. Like you didn't background your characters to give them something else to have aside from I'm evil, ha ha ha. Like that's basically the first game, Phil.
Yeah, but
They don't give you a reason
it
why
just
you're
felt
supposed to go
so
hunt them.
different. Like I understand that it's basically Grand Theft Auto
Rudy Tooty Cowboy Shooty.
on horses, but lassoing people and the side missions, like everything about that game just felt really good. And honestly, Red Dead Redemption 2 would probably be on this list, but it also hasn't sat with me long enough where I've kind of gotten the itch to play it again, but it's not to the extent of like with Red Dead 1, I really feel like I miss that game. Like I haven't played it in a while. There's just been so much stuff that's come out that I haven't been interested in going back. And I've never played Undead Nightmare, even though I have a copy of it, and I've heard that it's
I heard
really,
it was
really
pretty
good.
Like, I don't get me wrong. I'm not shit talking Red Dead 1. It's on my honorable mentions list. So, like, it was still a really enjoyable
Spoiler.
game. Yeah, I know, but I don't think we're actually talking about honorable mentions. But it was a close. It just, like I said, it didn't have that. It basically brought it down that 1 point to bring it into my top for the decade.
So if Red Dead's your first one from 2010, and you said you have one from 2010,
I have two from 2010.
okay, well say one from 2010.
Mass Effect 2.
That's not on my list.
That game is
definitely not on my
phenomenal, the best in that series, and that's how story building
Andromeda
games.
is the best.
No, shut your mouth. That's how you make a game where the choices in the prior game actually made a difference. Even the most minute character. So in the first one, let's say you saved a person, they're there, and they will give you stuff to be like, oh my god, thank you for saving my life. Here you go. Here's some more stuff. If you didn't save them in the first game, they're not there. They did it right. Completely botched it with the third one, but like they made it right for the first.
They
the
really
second game.
did hit it on the nose.
It was an amazing game.
I was kind of thrown off by it at the beginning, though, because I remember when Mass Effect 1 came out, the RPG elements of it I thought were really, really good. And then when Mass Effect 2 came out, I got it pretty close to release, and I was really thrown off because it felt more like an action game.
Yes.
But the shooting elements were so much better, and it made it for the whole experience of the game felt a lot better than Mass Effect 1.
Yeah. So in the Mass Effect 1, every 4 minutes you were pausing the game, equipping this one piece of armor that you got that's better than your other piece of armor. Mass Effect 2, you really only cared about yourself. You decked your character out, he got different armor pieces. Everyone else looked the same. It was fine. The only thing that kind of weirded me out is in Mass Effect 1, every gun had a limited ammo, and they overheated.
Yeah.
And that was the ammo system. So if it overheated, you'd have to wait till it cooled down. Second game, they're just like, oh, you know what? Technology's advanced. We're back to bullets, everyone. We're back to ammo cartridges. And I was like, it doesn't make sense to be, further in the future, but like they're going a little in the past kind of thing.
Maybe the bullets are just better though. Like maybe they're more powerful.
There was one gun that was awesome. I think it was called the Widowmaker. It was this big fucking sniper rifle. It was awesome.
I really just want them to release the trilogy for Switch.
Absolutely. Day one purchase.
That'd be amazing.
And Andromeda though too. It's like a bonus feature.
Yeah, so only the 3 Mass Effect games that have been released, only the 3 that have ever been released.
They have numbers at the end.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And 4, Andromeda.
Only the 3.
That game could barely run on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people were excited for that. And
The
that
faces
that went
turning
down
on
real
their
fast.
bodies made me laugh.
Do you think that game had a worse launch than WWE 2K20?
I think people cared more.
No. I think, people cared about it more, but I think it was still playable. WWE is not playable.
But like, I feel like with WWE, people were just like, oh, it's just a wrestling game.
Yeah, no one's really expecting it to be like mind blowing.
But Mass Effect, like the fan base is huge, and like the video game community really cares about it.
Yeah.
So having it come out and be just like this
Nightmare,
absolute garbage fire, I feel like pissed a lot of people off and almost shut BioWare down. I'm pretty sure
Andromeda did. Yeah, it almost shut them down, or it did shut down the Montreal studio. I think that's who did the Andromeda. I think I'd have to verify.
Not us Canadians.
I know.
No.
It's so sad. But do you have another game in 2010,
certainly does.
sir?
yes. So I have two more.
Oh dear God.
I only have one more.
So I have Fallout New Vegas.
That was so close to being on my list. It was
Fallout New Vegas. Everything that I could say about it, I've said before in the past. The RPG elements of it, the world building, just the ability to go with a bunch of different factions. I felt they really hit the nail on the head with it. Graphically, obviously, it was just terrible, but it did run pretty well. I think Obsidian did a really good job. It's the last good Fallout game.
Well, that game was rushed
76.
6 months in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bethesda was like, hey, we'll give you a huge bonus if you get an 80% or 70% on Metacritic. There was a threshold that they had to hit, and I don't remember what it was, but then they're like, oh, by the way, your game has to be out in November or October. And that was 6 months ahead of their schedule.
But
deal.
And they did not hit that goal, like their payout, essentially because they were rushed 6 months.
But thankfully, all the DLC for it, I've only played through that
Old
once.
World's Blue is good.
It was really, really good.
Yeah.
I thought the DLC was actually better than the DLC for Fallout 3.
Yes.
The thing about it, though, one of the main reasons why it's on this list is just a lot of nostalgia. I don't know if you can really go back and play it as much in 2020.
PC you can. You can get it to look pretty good and have it run pretty decently on PC.
Just the bones of the game and all of the different elements of it, I think are really strong. Just graphically, that game is that needs to be on Switch as well.
Yes, and once again, I think we've said this, but that would be a day one purchase if they did 3 and New Vegas. But
And
the
4.
big thing, no, the big thing in New Vegas, it's the same thing as Mass Effect. They did a really good job at having so many different dialogue options, all meet to multiple endings, like different ones. You can side with so many different people. You can piss so many people off. It was fantastic.
It's one of the things that nowadays, you guys know this, I don't really replay a lot of games just because there is a lot of content that comes out.
Yep.
But when New Vegas was out, I replayed it a couple of times just to generate the different endings because I felt like it was a different game a lot of the time.
Yes, man, still the best end.
I mean, nowadays you don't even beat all the games, Phil.
Shut the fuck up. And the final one I have from 2010 is BioShock 2.
Okay.
I know you guys are both kind of on the fence about it.
I'm more on the fence about BioShock Infinite.
Yeah, I like 1 better than 2, but 2 is still pretty solid. Having a big drill fist punching people was pretty awesome.
Yeah, one I always felt like had the better story elements, but 2 had the better gameplay for me.
Yes.
Having the ability to control your weapon as well as the
Online multiplayer too. Did you play it at all?
No.
Oh man. So it was the TDR, team deathmatch, but occasionally a suit would appear, and then just somebody would come the Big Daddy and just run around and punch people with the giant.
How did they not do the whole Evolve thing where or the Friday the 13th stuff?
Oh, the isometric.
Yeah.
Not isometric. Shit. Maybe isometric.
Just one boss,
Yeah.
4 people.
4v1.
Yeah, I don't understand how BioShock wasn't right on that.
Because they went to Infinite, which took 5-6 years to make.
Too many
Yeah.
years for a shooter.
5 years? 5 years. I'm pretty sure it was 5 years.
Yeah.
Because I think it was 2015.
Have you played the DLC for? I think it's the DLC from 2.
That ties in 1?
Minerva's Den.
Yeah. I did not play it.
Oh,
so
it's very good.
I heard it was good.
Very good. Even the DLC, actually the DLC from Infinite ties it all together very well.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what
puts a
I've
great bow on it. It's really good. I'm excited for the new. Apparently, they're going to do a new BioShock game.
It's not Irrational Games though, so I'm worried. Yeah, because I don't think they closed down, but they shut down the Irrational Games name and
It would be good
become
though.
something else. Hey, it has a chance. I'll play it, maybe.
Less shooter game. That's all that
Depending.
I think would work.
Yeah.
Less of a shooter, more of an adventure.
More of a schluter.
Well, did you play the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so it was very like you got the ability to like, or if you didn't have the ability to like zap the thing to unlock the door, like you missed upgrades and stuff like that. Like it was very good. The first
Like
one.
Infinite just felt the exact same as like Dishonored. Like they were the
Yep.
exact same game to me. They played the exact same way, and it was like the style at that time.
Dishonored didn't have skyhooks though.
Yeah, I know, but it had everything else.
Okay,
it basically could have been interchangeable, honestly. Like Infinite,
they could have called it anything else.
yeah. And I wish they did.
Songbird was cool though.
I don't remember that.
The big boss, like the big
Oh,
bird
yeah.
thing, he was cool.
I like the "May the Circle Be Unbroken" song.
That is a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were out of games for 2010?
Yes.
You did not have any games for 2010.
No games for 2010.
My other game of 2010 was Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Oh, it's not that good.
I've never
Overrated.
played it.
That is
Overrated.
one of the best Mario platformers.
Super Mario 64
Is worse than Mario Galaxy 2. I will go on record right now. Mario Galaxy 2 is better than Mario 64. It's a fantastic video game. You should play it.
I would play it at some
Yeah,
point.
because I know you'll actually play platformers. Cam, I don't know, gets bored or just doesn't care anymore.
Well, they suck sometimes.
You suck sometimes.
You don't have the precision to play
I have more precision than is required. It's just that like so many platforms are just kind of the same with new skins on them.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's like that game that you were talking about the other day that looks exactly like Hollow Knight. They just took Hollow Knight, put a new skin on it, throw it out.
Elder something?
No.
Elder Glow?
It's something.
I'll type in Hollow Knight
Okay, so
rip-off game.
tell us your reasons why.
It's just so number one was like a fantastic game, but number two added way more elements. They tightened the levels, made them a lot more fun. That was bad English there. But more importantly, they gave you my boy Yoshi back, and that was the like first big 3D game that you could actually ride Yoshi on.
Was
and,
Birdo in it?
Not that I remember. No.
Trash game.
Have they even like mentioned doing a third one?
I don't know. Completely different, but GameStop US posted 12 Nintendo SKUs in their pre-order screen, just under DNU. So there's a Nintendo Direct some point this month.
Yes.
The hints are they're remastering Super Mario 3D Land?
3D World?
3D World, yeah, the one for Wii U.
I'd actually pick that up. That
Me
game
too.
was fun.
Once
That
we
game
dropped
was
the-
fun.
Like I always just play the guy on the tablet who put the blocks everywhere to mess up my friends.
No, that was the 2D one, and that one's already out.
Oh.
That one's already out. Super Mario
it?
Deluxe? Yeah, it came out last year.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
last
the hell's the
January.
other one?
This one's the 3D one, so it's like you
play-
got to play Peach. Rosalina was
it had the
unlockable.
cat people, right?
Yeah, the cat
I didn't
suits,
like
yeah.
that one either.
I like that. That game was fun.
No.
Well,
That game was fun if you were better than everyone else, because if somebody was better than you, it was awful.
and they
Because
just
they
like,
were
ran at
just
the
zipping
front.
ahead.
You know
You're
what
like,
was fun?
yeah.
Super Mario 64. That was a fun game.
Play Galaxy and
How
Galaxy
often do you
2.
have to race the Koopa in Galaxy?
They had different levels
Probably
like that.
never.
Shut up.
Okay, so do any of you have any more games for 2010?
No.
No.
Okay, you know what that means.
2011.
Gleam Light is the rip-off game.
2011. How many games do you guys got for 2011?
0.
I have 2.
I also have 2. What are the odds? Are 2 are the same?
Probably pretty low.
Okay.
I would say
0?
Yeah, the chances of them being the
It's
same.
probably like UFC 2010.
Okay. Well, I like one of them. Are they the same? Like, there's a very obvious one.
Yeah, I think one of them might be the same.
Oh, okay. I know what game you're talking about.
Yeah. What came out in 2011?
Skyrim.
Skyrim came out in 2011.
Oh, mine's not Skyrim.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
then never
I
mind
didn't
then.
put that on my list.
Okay, so I'll start with Skyrim then.
We can't. Okay, I'll say this: we can't deny how influential.
Oh,
and
it's not. It's on my influential list, just not my good.
Yeah, so
list.
I did love Skyrim too. I still think, looking back at it now, I liked Oblivion a little bit more. But Skyrim, still when it came out, it was like crazy good. I had tons of fun playing it, and I still think about playing it now to this day.
the best comparison I have for Skyrim is, as a kid, I really liked Metallica. Okay, I really liked the band Metallica.
Okay.
Okay, and I used to
Waiting
listen.
see how this goes
Segues in.
here.
I used to listen to Master of Puppets all the time, like
Okay.
the album.
Yep.
Okay. When I was like in high school, I got really out of Metallica. I was like, yo, Metallica's old. I think this is overplayed. It's boring. I'm kind of at that point with Skyrim at the moment. I feel like even though I've never played the DLC, but I've played through the game 3 different times without the DLC, and I just, I understand it's a special game, but I don't love it anymore, you know? But same thing with Metallica's Master of Puppets. When I got older, I started to love it again and appreciate it again. So maybe going back to it a couple of generations later, I'll be like, wow.
Yeah, like I
really
think a
love
lot
this.
of things in Skyrim, it's special the first time you experience it, but it's never going to be the same doing it 15 different times, right? Because there's so many different random events that happen in Skyrim, but like after you've played that game on every single system known to mankind, you've kind of seen those multiple times. It's no longer a special.
I do want to get it for Switch, though.
Same. I've always wanted to get it for Switch because I was like, that'd be fun just to pick up and play.
Let's get that for $29 in Canada.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think on sale it's been what, lowest is 49?
59.
59 Canadian dollars. That's
Yeah.
like $1,000 American dollars.
So I'm in the same boat. I like Oblivion more. Don't get me wrong. I did go to the midnight launch for Skyrim. Like, I was super hyped, getting ready to go play it. I stayed up until like 4 a.m. playing it, and then I worked the next day. But thinking about it now, it's way too easy. Like,
Yeah, but no Elder Scrolls games are hard.
Oblivion.
did you play Morrowind?
Yeah, it wasn't hard. It was just, it's about
Those
finding
fucking birds? You tell me that they are not the most annoying enemy in the
the
entire
only thing.
video game.
I mean, birds and bees
pantheon.
are always the most annoying enemy in every game they exist in.
Yeah.
The only thing hard about Morrowind isn't even really hard. It's just that it doesn't tell you where to go for quests. You have to do a little more research yourself. But the gameplay itself wasn't any harder.
Yeah, the
I don't know,
gameplay wasn't, but like I hated. It's come synonymous now. The Bethesda blinking arrow. Oh, you know what? Go here.
Yeah, for
Right
the most
there.
part though, I never really count like difficulty as even to me a very big selling like feature. Even something like God of War recently I played, and I played on the easiest difficulty because I was like, hey, I just want to experience the story, and I had a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
it wasn't hard ever.
It
but
was environments for me too. Snow,
there were
snow.
non-snowy areas.
barely.
I can still remember being at my friend Mikey's house when we watched the trailer for the first time with like the orchestral music, and it showed all the snowy areas, and I was like, oh my god, the graphics in this game are insane.
Good old
Still the
CG.
mod potential still too. Like I got news on my phone today still about Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like it's been like 9 years.
One thing though, did you play it on 360? Did you both
Yeah.
play it?
The first time I played it on PC,
You played it on PC. Ah.
and
I
then
played it
PlayStation.
360 the very
Did you
first
play?
time.
Did you ever have a Connect?
No.
No.
No. Okay. There was one add-on they added later.
Oh,
in
I
the
did.
Game.
No, I had the shouting thing for the
Yeah,
Kinect.
you could actually like. So instead of hitting a button, you could be like "Fuss Roda," and it would actually,
That's pretty sick.
and you're like
show.
"Isla Noose," and it would do the ice one and stuff like that.
Yeah,
those are the
Kinect
only two I
sucked, but
remember.
that was good.
I
yeah.
do actually, along with the Switch, I do actually want to play it in VR.
Apparently, it gives people like mad motion sickness.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm
mad
not sold on
motion
the whole
sickness.
VR thing yet.
Neither am I. It's not good enough yet.
So I'm sure we'll talk about Skyrim more later. Phil, what's your next one or your first one for 2011?
For 2011, I have Dark Souls.
Yeah, I don't have that.
I don't have that either.
Mainly because Bloodborne to me was just so much better. It kind of it's like Bloodborne was so light, you know. It kind of like put a lot of shadow on all the Dark Souls games.
No, I understand that. It's just my experience with it. Even though I haven't fully completed it before. That's one of my that's one of my gaming goals in the future, not of 2019, of 2020 though. But I think that game, as far as being as influential as it is, changing the landscape and just being so different and creating a world that I can still remember like looking up like message boards and stuff and trying to figure out like where to go.
Now, did you get it on Switch?
I do have it on
The
Switch.
remastered? Oh, that's good at least.
Nice.
I don't. I have it on PC. It like barely ran on
It runs
PC.
like shit on
Yeah, it's
PC,
terrible.
yeah.
I was really
Or
surprised.
ran like shit. I haven't tried it recently, but
still does.
The remaster one runs really well, but the Prepare to Die edition,
oh, conveniently the one I have. Okay.
that's the one that did not run very well. I had to try because I played it for the first time on PC, and I'm kind of a filthy casual, and I had to use a gamepad.
A controller. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hooking up the controller took hours. Like, it was a
Why?
bitch. I don't know. Like I had to
Early
download
Steam still.
I had to download 3 different like mapping programs, like input mapping programs to even like get it to work. The first 2 or the one that I use all the time didn't work.
I guess that's just like 2011 for you.
Yeah.
Shit sucked.
Yes, it did.
Everything's so much more convenient nowadays.
It's true.
Yeah.
And also, do you have another one in 2011?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Portal 2.
I don't have that on here, but
Nor do I.
I
Good
love
game.
that game.
Portal
game.
2 is a fantastic game. I
It
didn't think
aged
I'd like
well.
it because I never cared for puzzle games or anything like that, and it was kind of like a hard great game to describe because there's like first person shooter elements except for like you're not shooting anyone, you're just shooting portals.
Who was Wheatley? Steve Merchant? Is he the comedian?
I have no idea
Oh,
why.
just I'm trying to remember Wheatley's voice, and I'm pretty sure it's
I remember his voice. I don't remember
it's
who
the
was
tall.
comedian, though.
He's a tall, lanky dude. He was on one of the lip sync.
Oh,
battles.
Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, anyway, he was funny. Wheatley's fantastic.
But like I had tons of fun playing Portal. It was one of the earliest games that actually like I don't know, like stressed me out a little bit. Like it was like hard.
Yeah.
And then I also had tons of fun with the multiplayer. Like me and Devin, I think, used to just go through and play all the multiplayer and beat all the levels, and it was just a lot of fun. It was a good game, and it's probably the most different game that I played at that point. Because most of my other games are just RPGs or tactic games, stuff like that. So,
Yeah, it was different for you.
yeah, it was the first puzzle game I probably ever beat.
With a lot of puzzle games, I'm kind of a dumbass. So when I was playing that, I remember actually caring a lot about the outcome, and I was really interested to see the ending. But that's an example of a game that if you would have told me when Portal came out that they were going to do a Portal 2, I would have probably been like, that game doesn't need a sequel because it's very straightforward,
Yeah.
bare bones.
But you're glad it did.
But then they expanded it so well, and I was like, wow, I'm very impressed with how it turned out.
Yeah, I remember there's like the remember like the liquids.
Yeah, the bouncy goo.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
all of those, they were just so fun. Like those levels were
And
so
like
good.
the physics in that game is so ahead of its time.
Good old Valve. Remember
Valve.
when they made games?
Can't wait for Portal 3.
That if they're going to break the 3 curse, it's going to be Portal.
No, Left 4 Dead.
No.
Haven't they already announced a new Half-Life?
It's
like
not.
a
It's
VR
not
one?
3. It's episode Alex, and it takes place I think
That's
in
just
between the 2.
Something like
Yeah.
3 to me. So then what's your next game, Phil?
that. Deus Ex,
Is that also 2011?
Human Revolution, yeah. As I've said before on the podcast, a game that I didn't expect to love. I just kind of randomly picked it up. Never played the original one.
I didn't ask for this.
The voice acting is a little bit cheesy, but there's a lot of moments in that game that I really, really loved. Like the cyberpunk elements of it, the sneaking around. Like I don't usually do, except for playing like Hitman and stuff. I don't usually like stealthy games. But I played through like a guns blazing storyline. Like I did the entire game guns blazing, and then I did an entire like sneaking, like not trying to use guns, just talking it out. You can get like an achievement for not killing a single person. I really like that game for those two things.
I could never do that. I play video games to kill people.
But I love that shit.
I played Metal Gear Solid 3, and I didn't kill anybody.
Even in Outer Worlds, like I love playing games where you can kind of talk yourself out of situations, or just like I love that you have that option. And obviously, like even when we played D&D, for example, like when we tried to rob that one like coat,
Oh, the coach where
and then I tried to rob it, and then we tried to talk our way out of it, and it was good.
I tried to use my plan.
the Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
It was good.
Lots of fun. I mean, D&D is like the best game probably ever for, choices in games, right? Like people think about like games like Mass Effect or Fallouts or stuff like that, but D&D, that's the game where your choices matter the most.
It's true.
Yeah, but sometimes the choices aren't like in stone. It's really up to your DM.
Yeah, that's the funnest part.
Yeah.
Is when you see a game like something like Fallout or Mass Effect, you can obviously tell there's almost always like one good option, an evil option,
Yeah.
something in the middle kind of thing. But in D&D, you really have no idea.
It's true.
Even like I'm playing Outer Worlds right now, and I'm trying to go through that without being like, I'm trying to be like a kind of like a con man with it, and just I put all of my my points into persuasion and lying and things.
When
like
I played Fallout 4 when it came out, was it charisma in that one, or is it something different?
Which one?
Fallout 4. Was it charisma?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I put all my points into.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Of course you did.
Like real life.
Oh boy.
So I think that's both my 2011 games.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
both
done
your
for
2011. So 2012. I actually don't think I had one for
I don't have
2012.
anything 2012.
No, I don't have anything for 2012.
Okay,
Oh, I guess that
2012
answers. I guess
sucked.
that answers our question. I'm gonna Google what's decent in 2012.
So I have 3 for 2013.
Just to discuss this quickly, for 2012, like the only notable one, Lollipop Chainsaw was really good.
It was fun.
Borderlands 2 came out then, not a terrible game. The Darkness
Oh
2.
my God, 2012 sucked.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, but
Well,
spoiler
here's
alert.
the thing. It's because they thought. Yeah, those aren't good.
That's the lineup there.
It's because they thought that 2012 was going to be the end of the world. So why bother making a good game?
Oh my God, you're so right.
Obviously.
No, I think it goes into like it was the year prior to
A console launch.
so they kind of shit the bed there.
That's fair.
it happens.
I ain't even mad at it, but for 2013,
I have 3 games for 2013.
I feel like me and Phil are gonna have one the same.
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah.
And I think we briefly discussed it.
Yeah, probably.
It's The Last
Yeah,
of Us.
mine's The Last of Us.
Mine's not.
I know.
Shit game.
You gotta play it fully.
Nah, I'm too tough. Every time I play the beginning and there's like that little bitch Joel, I'm like,
You
oh
just
my
start
God.
crying, and you can't go on.
I start
eh?
crying at how much of a cuck the main character is. Every single time I play it, I'm like, "Oh my God, your daughter died. Walk it off, buddy." It just drives me nuts.
Oh my God, the game is so good.
Yeah, it's definitely
Like single player storytelling wise, it's still probably one of the most emotional ones.
What about the multiplayer though? Talk to me about the multiplayer.
multiplayer? Is actually apparently fantastic.
Yeah, surprisingly, like
Didn't play it, but
my friend Mikey is actually really into it for whatever reason.
that's weird. But
Yeah, I played through it I played it a couple of times with him, but it wasn't anything special to me, at least.
So do you guys think that the next decade, Last of Us 2 will be on the list?
Oh yeah,
I feel like it won't live up. I'm worried.
you think so?
I'm worried.
Naughty Dog has never let me down.
It's true.
2s are always the worst though. It's 3s where they come back.
Not necessarily.
Uncharted 2.
Mass Effect 2.
No, Mass Effect Andromeda was the best one. We've discussed this
You're
already.
such a troll.
I'm only a little troll.
Okay.
So you guys both have Last of Us. I don't have that on here.
Yeah. Okay,
I
well then you
have.
speak your 3 games.
Do you have how many more do you have?
0.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just tell you all of them. So I'll tell you them quickly, and then I'll describe each one.
Okay.
Fire Emblem Awakening
Oh,
as my favorite Fire Emblem of the decade.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it's not my favorite Fire Emblem of all time, but of the decade. Nintendo 3DS. Before that, the previous Fire Emblem game was Shadow Dragon, which I did not like at all.
Very
Like,
few
I didn't
people
like
did.
Shadow Dragon. It sucked, so I wasn't sure if I was going to like the next one. And then Awakening came out, and it was very positive.
Except for the
surprised.
feet.
I'm surprised you don't have Fire Emblem on yours.
I was just thinking about that. Like it probably should be on my list, but yes, it's fantastic. Like of the 3DS ones, it's definitely the best one.
Yeah, they didn't really recapture the magic with the fuck were the other ones called?
Birthright Conquest and
And
Revelations.
Revelations, yes.
yeah,
But-
I can't say that I played
And
any of those.
You forgot Shadows of Valentia.
Yeah, no.
That game,
No.
I hated that game.
So the only other one that was close for Fire Emblem about being on my top 10 was maybe Three Houses.
Yeah.
But I think still in general I liked Awakening a little bit more. I obviously like Fire Emblem on Switch a lot though, so maybe in the future we'll get one I'll love the most. It'll
Yeah.
be my favorite. The next one, I'm kind of surprised neither. Well, I'm very not surprised that Andrew doesn't have this, but I'm kind of surprised Phil doesn't have this because this was a big game. GTA 5.
GTA 5 was on my list. I did have it on there. But I think I actually put Red Dead on there in place of it.
GTA 5 blew my mind.
Yeah, GTA.
The budget in that game, the graphics, the map, everything in it was just incredible. The story, fantastic.
I wouldn't say that it doesn't deserve to be on this list.
I would.
Just don't listen. I understand,
I just don't like the whole thug life thing. I don't like it.
but Trevor wasn't a thug.
Yeah, he was a crazy Canadian. I don't care.
It's more than like I don't love thug life shit. It's not my favorite, but I still like the story and how they break down the characters and
Like,
the different swapping between them.
Michael was like a middle class man who does crime. It's Grand Theft Auto. It's supposed to be a crime based game.
Yeah. The last good one was San Andreas.
No, 5 was the last good one.
5 was still amazing.
Yeah, no. It's just not my cup of tea. If I want to see that excessive violence, I can turn on the news at this point. Like
You
I
could
don't
literally
need
just
to
buy
play
that
video
game
games.
instead of a Forza game and just drive around, and you
Yeah,
still
I
have a
hate
good
racing.
time. I'm not saying race. I'm just saying it's just like it
Well, I hate
looks so
driving.
nice.
The world in that game is just so large. It's so fun. There's so many things that you can do. The story in it, I absolutely loved. Rockstar in the same way that I think about.
Yeah, so I don't do it personally, but I still know people that play it all the time.
Yeah.
Like there's still a
I
pretty
like
big, online community.
Once again,
for it
don't get
too.
me wrong, it's probably great. It's not my cup of tea. I put, I think, 30 minutes into it at a buddy's place, and I'm like, nah, I can't do this.
Yeah, I couldn't just keep playing the online for years, but like the first time I played it with a story, it was just fantastic. And I remember looking at a lot of stuff first because I heard it cost like $300 million to make or something like that. It was the most expensive video game budget.
I think Destiny beat it.
Really?
I think so.
Did you know that they actually wanted to do, you know how like it's 3 intertwining stories?
Yeah.
They originally wanted to do 4 like that with Lost and the Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony. They originally were going to have, you could switch between all of them because even in Ballad of Gay Tony and 4, you could see Roman.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
I think the 3 was the perfect amount though.
Yeah.
I think with 4 might have been a little bit too many, a little bit too clogged. There's also been rumors of GTA 6 recently. I don't know if you guys have seen anything like that. I don't know if it's something that maybe they'll show a preview this year at E3 or something like that.
Oh
but
boy!
If it was, so I remember you said you saw like some rumor.
Oh my
about
god!
It.
Sorry, Destiny crushed it. So Grand Theft Auto was 137 to 265. Destiny cost $500 million to make.
Listen, we played Destiny and I liked it, but like there was like the game was pretty fucking empty.
Yeah.
How did they spend that much money?
Paychecks for the big boys. I don't know.
It's weird.
If GTA 6 is a timed exclusive for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah. That's what they said they're going to be.
Still won't play it.
If it comes out as a launch title for the PlayStation 5.
If I don't have any choice and I still want to play something on it, maybe.
If GTA 6 came out as a launch title, it would be the best launch title on the new system. Like, not ever. I just mean, like, there's nothing that would beat GTA 6 coming out on day one. I doubt it.
Oh, that's true. It's the only way they'd get people to buy $1,000 console, potentially. So, but once again, not my cup of tea. That's
Did I have
all.
something after GTA 6?
I don't know.
Oh, I did, yeah. It was,
5, you mean? But yes.
Yeah. Well, soon to be
shit.
6. Pokemon X and Y. So my favorite Pokemon game of the last decade, too.
Yeah.
First game where they swapped to like the full 3D graphics. Looked fantastic. I liked all the new Pokemon that were in it.
Yeah.
Maybe not all, but out of like compared to recent generations, I liked the actual
Mega
lineup.
Evolutions were cool.
Mega Evolutions were fantastic. That was one of the first ones where I really got into competitive battling and breeding and that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun, and I think it's my second favorite Pokemon generation.
I didn't play it.
Yeah, I'm not too
Third
surprised.
favorite one for me, but
What came for 2?
2, 3, then.
See, mine's 3, then X and Y.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to give tons of explanation for Pokemon. I love
It's
Pokemon games.
Pokemon.
If I didn't have at least one Pokemon game and one like Fire Emblem game,
Surprisingly,
inside
I
my
don't
top-
have either of them on there.
Wow.
Yeah, but I've played a lot.
I mean, it happens, but like they're like some of my favorite series. So
Yeah.
I'll
Honestly, I
always
probably
find
just forgot about them.
probably if there's a lot of games, you can forget easily. Like I haven't even thought about something like Portal 2 in a little while, but like when I was looking up all the games that come out, like Portal 2 instantly, I was like, oh, that's on the list right there.
Yeah.
Because all the fun. But
I
I haven't
can
been thinking about it
understand
every
that.
single day since.
Is this
you know?
2013 still?
No, that was 2014.
No, that was 2013.
Yeah, that's still 2013.
okay.
Yeah.
You guys had
We didn't have anything.
you had nothing.
Yeah.
I don't have anything for 2014.
I don't have
I have
anything for
nothing.
2014.
I guess 2014 also
It was
sucked.
one was in my honorable mention. That was Destiny 1.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun when it came out. It
Yeah.
was still.
I think it was 2014.
In hindsight, it's a disappointing game. Like it's a disappointing series for the most
Just
part.
playing the online and decking around for a couple hours.
The
is
thing
fun.
about it though is that like a good game, you don't need to have online to make it fun. Like you think of like your favorite experience sometimes can be like just single player, like what happened.
Yeah.
A bad game, you can still have a lot of fun with online multiplayer. It's just a fact.
Borderlands 3. It's a
Yeah,
bad
like-
game. We still had fun
Yeah,
playing.
you can still have fun playing with
multiplayer.
friends no matter what you play.
Yeah.
You can play the worst games, but does it hold up? Would you be able to play that game for 100 hours yourself?
No.
Probably not.
No, I did play Destiny 2 a lot, but that was just grinding.
Same.
Yeah.
Nothing for 2014, right, Phil?
Nothing for 2014.
Okay, now I know we all.
2015,
have a game in
we all have the
2015.
same game.
Do we all just only have one?
I got 2.
Okay,
okay.
well, we know one's Bloodborne.
Do you want to do your... Okay, we'll do
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
That game is
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's
Very
my,
good.
my
If not
favorite
one
game
of the
all time.
best PS4 games, it's up there.
Yeah, what did I write for Bloodborne? I think I wrote that. I think up until recently, it was my favorite game on the entire console. The aesthetic was fantastic. Gameplay was fun.
As I said, I still remember getting my PlayStation 4, picking up Infamous Second Son and Bloodborne, putting Bloodborne in, getting stuck on that first bonfire, and just getting destroyed.
Getting past all those guys.
I was like, I don't understand. Why is this so hard? How do they keep respawning? And then I reached out to one of my friends. He's like, you got to do this. Then from then on, I was like,
If anybody asks me how to get into that game, I'm just like, just run past everyone. Get to the boss
Yeah, at the
and
beginning,
die.
there's
That's
two options.
it.
you need
basically
the insight. And then
you either run to the cleric beast and you just let him kill you so that you can start leveling up, or you can go get one of the skulls and you get the insight point, and then you're good to go there too.
I was so obsessed with that game. I beat the game 3 times in a row. I put so many hours into it, and I love the world. It was my first it was the first Soulsborne game that I truly fell in love with. Dark Souls I started to enjoy afterwards in comparison, but
just because you want more.
Yeah, the speed of it
Yeah, to me it was the perfect balance, and it's also the reason I was mainly disappointed with Sekiro, because it wasn't Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The troll, when they give you the shield, do you remember the wooden shield you get?
Yeah.
It's just don't use it. It almost says in the description, it's it's useless, don't use it. But it was for those people that are oh, finally a shield I can sword and board. Nah.
Also, just the switching weapons and stuff like that. Even the starting options, the
the
chain
sweet
blade,
axe and stuff
there
like that.
was just so much cool shit in that game. Obviously bosses in all the Souls games, and
This one had by
Bloodborne.
far the best bosses.
Yeah.
Not the cleric beast, but the
Wet
the
nurse.
Bloodstarved beast,
I love the wet
Murgo's
nurse.
wet nurse was great.
There's literally there's points in that game where the Bloodstarved beast, for example, when he's moving so fast,
Where he's blurry and
I'm like, oh my
shit was
god,
hard.
what the fuck am I gonna do? And there would be points where I hadn't hit a spot where
a bonfire. Or
a
something?
bonfire. Yeah, I forget what they are in this game though.
little hats,
Yeah,
the lanterns. That's
the
what they were,
lanterns. Yes.
Yeah.
So I hadn't hit a lantern in a while, and then all of a sudden I'd just be walking out and I'd be oh my god, this is an open area. Oh my god. And then the boss would appear and it'd just be running quickly towards me, and I'm oh my god.
Yeah, you start to just know so bad where bosses are about to show up, and you're oh, this is gonna fuck.
You're
my
this is
day
a boss room. The one that got I was stuck on the Bloodstarved beast for a long time, probably I'd say 2 days. That
hard.
long time quotations.
It was a hard. That was a wall, I think, early on in the game.
Area that I got stuck in the most. Do you remember where the guy he's the one guy with the sack, and he bonks you in the head, and he takes you somewhere else.
That place.
Yeah,
that was a good grinding place. Though.
That was an awesome grinding place. But that electric boss that you have to fight to leave, I was stuck on him for so long till I realized that if you equip the axe, you just stand underneath them and you just Beyblade spin.
The secrets in that game just absolutely amazing. The first time I discovered that you could go to that cathedral.
Oh yeah, where you fight the king on top of the.
Yeah,
yeah
I was
that
I was
fight took me so
oh
long.
my god, this is something that you would really have to look into to realize that you could go to it.
Did you play the DLC?
Yep.
No.
Old Hunters.
The problem with the DLC is that if you played Bloodborne and beat it, and then the DLC comes
Oh,
out
yeah,
7
New Game
months
Plus
later,
makes it hard.
you
Yeah.
cannot just. It's not that you can't just go into the DLC. You're not.
Ludwig and Orphan of Cause and Lawrence, the 3 of the bosses.
You forgot Lady Maria of the Astral Tower with the cool flame sword, the blood sword.
I never had a hard time with Lady Maria.
Oh, difficulty. I thought you meant coolness. She was by far the coolest boss in the
They
game.
were so sweet.
She looked like the doll.
I would have to first play the game entirely over again just to warm up for the DLC.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can't just go in day 1 and start the DLC.
Well, you have plenty of time.
It was so Orphan of Cause to actually beat the DLC.
It took me a month.
I think I probably talked about it before, but man, I spent so much time trying to beat it, and I had to get my friend Mikey to come on. We tried for hours, finally beat it on my profile, so I got the trophy for it. And he's like, okay, yeah, let's go on mine now that we have the red thing.
You're good one, idiot.
And then we did, and we're we just got killed within 5 minutes because his attacks aren't they're so erratic.
I think I had to help a lot of friends out with the Bloodstarved Beast.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the. It's kind of like in Monster Hunter, the Anjanath.
Oh, the Anjanath.
I mean, a lot of people, I guess, would say the Cleric Beast might be the first wall, but I think that the Bloodstarved Beast was
you don't have to
toughest
fight the
part.
Cleric Beast, though. He's an optional boss.
Yeah, Father
Gascoigne.
Gascoigne?
Yeah, Gascoigne.
Did you get the box?
Yeah, I figured that out later, though. It's another one of those things.
He's the boss that separates the people who are actually going to complete the game.
The boys to the men.
Yeah, because I remember the first time. That's the boss that teaches you basically how to parry. That you have to
For the most
parry.
part, yeah. You don't have to parry him. You could play it recklessly and still win.
For sure. But that's the strategy for it. So it's trying to teach you to do that. And I remember kind of being stuck on him, but I have a friend who got to him, got stuck, and could never.
done.
Yeah,
He's like, this is impossible, and he puts the game down.
exactly.
Yeah, you got to realize when you play those games, nothing's impossible. It's just going to take you a lot of time.
Yeah, you just got to learn movesets.
Nothing feels better though. I've happened a couple times in like Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2, a couple times in Bloodborne 2, where you beat the boss on your first try. You walk in a room, a boss comes out, you're like, oh fuck, and then you beat it on the gargoyles. Which one was the gargoyles in?
Dark Souls 1, yeah.
Yeah, I beat all those on the first try, and I was just like, I was like sitting there shaking, like how? But I'm sure they're not the hardest.
There was a a Bloodborne boss that I beat on my first try, and I just can't remember who it was. But I like it's completely eluding me right now.
That's what I'm saying. There are those, but it's like the greatest feeling in the world when you stumble on a boss.
Is it the one in the forest? The one in the
like the little
there was a little witch one. Yeah, that one was pretty easy.
That one was easy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even feel good about that one.
Oh, it's like the pinwheel or the skeleton ghost.
You know who I beat on the first time, which apparently was a hard one for a lot of people?
Who?
Like I know Mike had a lot of difficulty on it. It was the dude with the cage on his head.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was just annoying, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I
don't know if it was just
squid tentacle arm,
but yeah,
definitely
I beat him on like
up.
my first try. I was like, oh, and then like later I heard a lot of people were having trouble with him. I was like, oh, but he was easy.
For New Game Plus 2 or 3, he's literally like insane. He's so hard. And the annoying thing is when you replay him, you have to go through his stupid little run all the time. And I was like,
that's the best part.
No, it just makes me more angry. And then I'm not playing as like intensely as I could be. He's just taunting me.
Okay. What's the other? Who had the other game for 2015?
I do.
Yeah, okay. I know what it's going to be.
The Witcher 3.
Oh,
Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
That came out in 2015.
Yeah. That's why, to me, 2015 is just a phenomenal year because I ranked them.
We knew he'd do this.
I know.
Every time we decide we want to rank them, you're like, no, I didn't put them in order, dog. And then anytime we're like, yeah, let's just not rank them, then you always like, oh, we didn't rank them this time? I was
like, oh, I put it in order this time.
But yeah, my 1 and 2, it's Bloodborne number 1. Number 2 is The Witcher.
Yeah.
I can't really say anything more that hasn't already been said. Love that game. Love the DLC. It's the best RPG ever made, hands down.
No.
I tried playing it yesterday and I started falling asleep. But I am also sick. But I did start falling asleep again.
My wife wants to play it now that
the show.
should we finish the show?
That's
and she's like, I kind of want to play it. I was like, I'll play it with you. Like, I'll try.
Man, I can't believe it, but Christy actually watched the Witcher show.
Yeah? Well, it's got Henry Cavill in it, and he's swole as fuck.
She was like, is that Superman?
Like,
No, now he's the Witcher.
no,
He's not
before
Superman
that,
now.
he was in Immortals, which was a Greek movie.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
really good.
Somebody got their balls smashed.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
But yeah, I'm glad that there is a lot of hype around Witcher right now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising.
I'm glad people like the show. I saw that show and I didn't see any reviews on it at first. I think I saw like one video that was like talking about, I think it's just the fight choreography, how like it wasn't flawless or anything like that. I didn't even watch the video.
Yeah.
I watched the whole show. I was like, this was a really good show. And then I kind of looked up online and it seems pretty positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Which is
doing
nice.
well.
It's already confirmed, I think, for 3 seasons, which is sick, but we got to wait till 2021 for the next one.
Oh, it's 2021? I thought it was late 2020.
No, 2021.
Oh, shit. Well,
Yeah.
sorry, Jess. I definitely told you 2020.
Yeah, well, 2020. I mean, it's not
Yikes.
that far away.
It's a whole year away.
If it comes out like January 2021.
It's a whole year away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's a high budget show though too. Like, you can't expect much more.
All right. 2016, my boys.
I think I
I have
something for
one
2016.
on
Let's see.
2016.
Oh, I don't. No, I
I
don't.
don't have anything for 2016.
Mine is Titanfall 2.
Yeah, it was okay.
That game is fantastic.
That's one
It's-
of your favorite games of the decade?
It's one of my favorite first-person shooters.
I feel
of
like you
this
can buy
decade.
it at the dollar store for $4.
It's free on PlayStation Plus right now, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, it's December's free game. So you still have 2 days to redeem it.
Oh.
So if you have not played that game, you should play it. It's really, really good. The movement in the game, by far one of the best in first-person shooters. The wall running actually works. The grapple hook is the most satisfying thing in a video game.
Does it work as well as Brink?
Yeah, it's like a billion times better than Brink.
The game was fun, but like
yeah.
anything, like I mean, the solo player was good. Like
Yeah.
the campaign
Story mode was good.
Considering all the issues with Titanfall 1, they fixed a lot of them.
Yeah.
But it didn't like blow my mind. But it was fun.
It's like, yeah, I know for you, yeah, but no, it's legit one of my favorite shooters.
But now you can get all the same fun in Apex Legends.
No, you can't. Nobody can wall run.
You can wall run.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you can.
no, you can't.
I think
No, you can't.
Someone can wall run.
No, no, I don't think so.
I'm too sick to harmonize right now.
No, yeah, no, that's my game of 2016. My honorable mention for it was Doom 2016.
love that game.
Yeah. So,
Is
but
that
I
you
put
need to play that. It is on Game Pass.
But is it on either of your lists?
No.
Oh, so it's shit.
It's on my
I
honorable
only did
mentions,
10
but
games, dog.
I did 3 honorable mentions.
I didn't do any honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I just did 10.
And I've done 2 of them already.
So I'll start by saying I also have nothing in 2017.
What?
Yeah.
Bullshit. Really?
What is wrong with you?
Okay, well, I have 2 games in 2017.
No good games for 2017.
How?
There were no games. They were good.
He's trolling.
You tell me, but no, I'm not. You guys tell me your games. I'll tell you if they're good or not.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good. No, I'm just kidding. Breath of the Wild was good.
Yes.
Not on my top 10 though.
How?
It wasn't. It's not. It's overrated, is what I'll start
It's
by
not
saying.
overrated.
For sure.
No.
Do you know what's overrated? Ocarina of Time. Overrated.
Yeah, they're all overrated. to
No,
be
that
honest.
one's specifically overrated. It's an okay game now. It's okay.
Is Link's Awakening better than Breath of the Wild?
No.
Okay.
Breath of the Wild was fun. Like, it's one of those games I would turn on for a couple hours, like fuck around with, go do shrines and that kind of stuff. But like to me, I still think like the old temple format was better. The best parts of the game were like the beasts, and there were
Yeah.
so few of them.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if something's the best, you don't want little of it. You want
The
more.
shrines were sweet, though.
The shrines are awesome.
Yeah, they were like so ranged. Like, well, some would be only a 1 out of 10, some would be like a 9 out of 10. Because sometimes you'd walk in and it'd just be like,
Dog, there's like 120 of them.
In the base game and then more in the DLC.
listen,
Yeah.
quality over quantity. You can toss me 1,000 of them. It doesn't mean
Just
that
the exploring and
it just
all of
means
the
that
features were
the
great.
exploring
The
was the
physics
best
in
part.
that game.
Yeah, like the fact that it took me like 20 minutes to realize why lightning was striking me. And then my wife's like, yo, maybe it's like the metal weapons you have equipped. And I was like, oh my God, that is why I'm being electrocuted. Maybe I should switch to wooden stuff.
I also like the weapon durability as well. I know it
that
pisses
was
people off.
that was my least favorite parts of the game.
I just didn't like the shields. Like, if the weapons were durable, that's fine. I didn't like that. Yeah, it'd be in the middle of battle and my shield would break.
that's
I'm like,
what-
oh,
Don't get
fuck.
me wrong. I played the game and it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it, but like not like top 10 games. If I have only 10 years, and like you know, if they're like Cam, you're going all the way on a desert island for 10 years, you may take 10 games with you. It wouldn't be one of them.
Bro,
You would be able to put so much time into it.
yeah,
Why not?
I would definitely like. Man, I don't even like. When I got my Switch, I remember having the conversation with Andrew, and I'm like, "Hey, I have the opportunity to get Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. I don't really know about Breath of the Wild. I think I'm just gonna get Odyssey." Andrew was like, "Listen, buy Breath of the Wild. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't like Zelda, just buy it." And I was like, I guess. So I put it in, and I just fell in love with that game. I can't
See, I think
overall, like out of every game that I've ever played, I would put it in my top 20.
See, I like
It's that
even
good.
something like Breath of the Wild. I still played for like 80 hours or something like that, and I would still say I had more fun in like my 20 hours of God of War than I had in like 80 hours of Breath of the Wild. Because every single thing I did in God of War felt like it was there for a purpose. And while like fucking around in Zelda is a lot of fun, it was more. It was like 60 to 70% of my time in that game was just me fucking around, which can be really good. Like that can be a lot of fun. But like everything in God of War was like, oh, I'm doing this for a reason. It was like purpose, even if I did nothing extra. That's all.
Like, I wasn't the kind of guy that's going to go around and look for all the seeds or anything.
Oh yeah, I gave up on. I think I got like 30 seeds.
Yeah,
That was
I
it.
don't care that much, but the story and doing all the shrines, like, I don't know, man. I thought every shrine that I went to, some of them maybe not as good as others, but all of them felt like at least somewhat thought-provoking, somewhat interesting. They had some elements of actually like they didn't just feel like filler. They felt like they were there for a purpose.
Yeah.
Like the one point in the game where I remember realizing that there's this island, and then going.
Yeah,
from
Oh,
from
where you
all
lose
your
everything?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that one.
That was awesome.
I was like, oh my God, this is sweet. Like, I thought it was just so different than anything else. And it's just discovering it. And it just brought me back to playing video games when I was a kid.
Yeah, there was a lot of fun. I mean, the thing about it though, to me, was just that, like, it just wasn't enough. I don't know. It was like tons of fun. Went around, had a good time. But like there were some things like that, like the island part, fantastic. I had a lot of fun in like the mazes, stuff like that.
Yep.
But then there were some parts where I just like I'd play for a couple days and then I'd look back and be like, what did I do these past couple days?
Hearing the Guardian do 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 was
I'm not gonna
The
be like, oh, I
music's
did.
amazing.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, I did these 17 shrines because I remembered each of them individually because they were all so different. It was like, no, I did some shrines. I walked around this area, so it really just depends. I don't know. It's not my biggest cup of tea. It was fun though, and I'll still go back and play it eventually. when I want to, but not top 10 of the decade for me.
You edgy motherfucker.
Yeah,
You know what?
edgy.
It might have been the best game of 2017. I'll give you that.
Yeah, no.
You disagree? Not the best game of 2017?
Yeah, it totally was. But no, I need to take a mad piss, so we need to take like a pause on this.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll take a brief intermission and then we'll come right back.
Okay. All right. So my next game of 2017, which was a real toss-up as to which one I liked more than Breath of the Wild, Persona 5.
Oh yeah,
Came out
I
in
saw that and I was
2017.
like, I was close, even though like I didn't beat it.
So
but-
once again, I mentioned this in one of the previous podcasts. That has one of the best boss fights ever. Like thematically,
Oh,
it just
the
was
volleyball
so good.
teacher.
That's the first boss, Cam. That's the first boss. No, that game is in my top 10. It's in my top 10 games ever, let alone this decade. So it was really tough for me to put it in like either Breath of the Wild or Persona 5. Phil has actually played that game, so he's
Hey,
assuming
he's gonna beat Persona 5 by the
One
end
day.
of 2020.
we have it on record that you
Yeah.
will beat it by 2020.
That's the goal.
At the end of this podcast, I'm gonna make you say your records, and we're gonna record them to buttons, so one day I can play them back. Such as the I'll never buy an Elder Scrolls game.
I won't.
I'm gonna beat Persona. A lot of fun stuff.
I
we'll
do
record.
think that we all should have goals for this year.
My
That-
goal is to beat Hollow Knight this year.
You're gonna beat Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
My goal is to be alive. You know.
that's an easy one.
God bless you.
God bless you. But no, Persona 5, the art is fantastic. The music is fantastic. Like, the storytelling, I've never hated a boss more than the first boss. Like, I've never hated the first boss in a
The
video game.
volleyball guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as much as Kamoshida. He was so...
I liked him.
You're just out for the cringe, bud. You're out
I
for
liked
the
him.
cringe.
He was a good character.
He
No.
probably would enjoy Mass Effect Andromeda as well. I
Yeah.
imagine that's probably one of his favorite games.
But no, that's like a phenomenal video game. I'm actually kind of shocked it was not on yours, but I guess you haven't beat it.
Yeah,
so.
I wouldn't put anything I haven't beaten on my list. Maybe something like influential games. It's different because those are like, you don't have to beat something to know how big of an impact it made.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I wouldn't put something that I haven't beaten on my top ones.
That's fair.
At
That's
the very
fair.
least. I mean, if
Yeah.
I beat it, maybe it would have been up there. Maybe it would
But
have.
I do feel like you'll pick up Royale and you should beat Royale. You should beat the game. I need someone to talk to about the ending of the game
It's
that hasn't just looked
$8.
up.
It's $8.50 on the PlayStation
Is it
Store right
actually?
now, I think. Yeah.
Holy shit!
That's cheap.
That's cheap.
That's cheap.
That's fucking.
Do you already
cheap.
own it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he bought it forever. How is he playing it?
I don't know.
I
He
bought
bought
it
it forever ago.
Yeah, I bought it for $25.
That's not bad. Still.
Still even worth
Yeah,
it.
that's still not bad. But that's my last game of 2017. But so
I have 3 for 2018.
I have 2. for
I got
2018.
one.
Okay, well, so Phil can start with his because it'll probably both.
Both of mine, I
numbers.
think, are the same. Like I think my 2 are the same as your 2.
Monster Hunter and God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yours is God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about God of War,
Should I
guys.
mention what my third one is, or wait till we talk about this
We'll wait
one?
till we talk about
Okay.
the other.
Okay.
It's a good game.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
sad. I already know Phil, but I'm kind of sad that no one else has my third one on the list too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would I have played it?
Yeah.
We'll
get to it after. Okay, so let's talk about God of War because all three of us have.
Oh, I know what game it is.
What?
I'm not saying it right now.
Okay.
Hell of a game, the story,
God
the
of War.
world building,
Boy.
as I've said before, just the whole Kratos being this overly aggressive character, kind of changing his tune when he has a child, the child showing signs of aggression,
Being
and
an angsty little fuck.
and Kratos is like, yo,
Listen, I wanted to punch Atreus when he kept at that one part where he finds out he's a god. Spoilers.
He's like,
and
oh, I'm so good.
yeah, and he's just like being a prick to like the dwarves and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to discipline him.
even like the side characters, like the dwarves were.
Oh, they were
sick.
hilarious.
Well, the beauty of the game is that by introducing so few characters, they could go pretty deep into them. Like you could really like them because there's only like what 7 characters.
Yeah, there's Freya, the 2 dwarves. I apologize, it's been a year. I can't remember
So
the names.
there's Magni, Modi, and
Magni Modi.
and what the fuck? Why do I always forget his name right when I have to with the D? The main villain.
His name doesn't start with a D.
It does.
No,
It does.
it starts with a B.
Balder.
Balder. See,
Yeah.
that's why. Did have a D
Silent
though.
D.
A silent D. De Balder. But yeah, so there's not really that many characters because nobody gives a shit about like the elf dude you see, like the flying Like he's like the king, I guess.
That's the bad one.
Yeah, the bad one.
Yeah, no one cares.
You kill him. Who cares?
They're not real characters, but like all those people are real characters, and that's really. Oh, we missed the best character.
Did we?
Yeah, I'll give you a clue. He's just
The
ahead.
snake.
Oh, Mimir.
Yeah,
Mimir
was,
was great.
Mimir was honestly what made
He's
that
really
game.
funny.
Okay, I'm not being mean to God of War. He's the only reason I didn't get bored of the game. Because when you're like boating around and he just tells you stories, I listened.
I genuinely think that
Yeah.
game would have been worse if there was no Mimir. It was a character you
it would have
pulled
been
out. And
awful.
It would
I
have
can't
been
believe
much
I
worse.
forgot about him. I'm sorry, Mimir.
Yeah, it's okay. Even me, so I've played it the most recent and beat it the most recent. Like obviously a couple of years after it came out. I guess like
A year.
one full year.
Yeah,
I
came
can't
out
believe it
March.
went down to $10.
That's what I'm saying. And for $10, I couldn't have asked for a better gaming experience for $10.
But do you think now that you really like the first one, you're going to get the second one day one?
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you buy the
Probably.
second one day one? Yeah.
I think I would. Yeah.
I definitely will, because the ending, like where you see Thor's little
Thor.
winky hammer, because it didn't look big enough to be Mjolnir, but
So the other thing is too, I have this big history thing. It's like all my favorite shows. They're always based off my favorite time periods are like Rome, Greece, and then like Norse. It's just fantastic. And obviously, all the original God of Wars are all Greek, and then this new one now is Norse. So it's like some of my favorite things.
yeah.
So I mean, it was something I would be interested in day one.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel the rush to get it, and now I have no regrets because $10 was
Yeah, you can't
fantastic.
complain. I didn't pay for it. I won it in a contest, so like I can't complain.
Yeah.
I bought it, beat it, traded it in,
Yeah.
then
for your
rebought
$50
it,
thing.
then rebought it for $20, and then like a month later it went down to 10. But I feel no regrets.
No regrets.
I'm glad I still have that for the collection.
It's a
Yeah,
good game.
it's good.
Like it definitely in the top 3 like favorite PS4.
I think I wrote this down in my notes too. I think it was one of the most well-made games. Like out of even all the ones on my list, I think it was the most well-made.
It's the best
like-
polished.
You look at even something like let's just take like Star Wars. I talked about this recently. The Fallen Order.
Yeah.
It's a newer game. It's not a bad game, but like the graphics, going for that like hyper realistic thing, like the graphics, you can kind of see a lot of flaws in them during cutscenes and stuff like that. God of War was like flawless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of it, they didn't just use mocap to capture every single character and stuff like that, but like they used it for a lot of the movements, and like voice acting was spot on.
Yep. The gimmick of the camera not stopping. Yes, it's a gimmick. Holy shit, did that make that game way better.
I had one glitch in the entire game.
Oh, yeah, you
and it
told
was
me about
hilarious.
this, yeah.
I hopped on a wall as Kratos. Atreus hopped on my back, and then he fell off into like a never-ending ditch, and then I hopped off, and then he was like, and he just started talking to me again.
and he was beside him.
He was beside me. I was like, okay,
He's a god.
but it's true.
Did he know he was a god then?
No, he didn't. That was a spoiler right there.
He should have known.
That was a hint.
Did you know the big boulder you punch Baldur into?
Yeah.
Has the same mural as
Yeah.
The ending
I
of the
saw
game
that.
does. So you actually, if you pause the game, you can actually read the mural, and it has the same mural that he reads when he finds out he's a god, and about his mom and all that shit.
Wow.
It's on that boulder you smash
There's
his
also
head
the
into.
mural about Kratos dying too.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
A lot of Easter eggs.
The way there are tons of Easter
Yeah.
eggs.
But they tied it in so nice.
But yeah, that'll be. I think all of us will probably pick up 2 on day one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely. They've proven now that it's worth.
As long as it doesn't come out March this year, I'll pick it up.
Even if it did, it would come out.
What
to
if-
me, it'd be above most other things coming in March. Because most of your stuff's for Jess too. So
Well, Final Fantasy's
other
for
than like
me.
financial wise for the game, like playing wise, I have nothing.
Oh yeah,
Final
yeah.
Fantasy.
Me would be Persona 5 Royal. I would still pick it up over God of War, but I just really want to play.
What if
Persona again.
it becomes a launch title for?
Oh
PlayStation
darn!
5?
I have to buy it.
Yeah, all
Oh,
we want
shoot.
is a good launch title. Like just one. They're
Yeah.
It's gonna be like Layer 2,
Horizon Zero Dawn
Knack
2.
4.
Heavenly Sword 2.
It's gonna be the worst.
But the thing is, man, like I don't know if going into PlayStation 4 they had as many solid franchises as they do now.
On day no, they didn't. Because God of War was okay, like 1, 2, and 3 were okay, but they figured out what it needed to be, and that's what the new one is.
Yeah, they were much more niche.
I'm kind of sad it doesn't have a number, just because it's really hard saying God of War and not mean the first one. It's the whole Xbox One, Xbox again. It's just annoying.
Yeah, it's true. But it was something they like looked at deeply because the old games were very different. They're like much more just hack and slash kind of thing. And the new one just played so well.
Yeah,
Like,
but-
What are they going to call the second one?
God of War.
Low key, the best God of War.
Yep,
It's a pun, you get it?
I do.
Like
yeah.
low key?
Spoilers.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Eh,
I don't know if they can call it God of War 2. It'll have to be like God of War,
something.
the Fire and
Revelations.
Ascension too.
They have Ascension.
Do they have
Ascension
Ascension
too.
Ascension as well.
Yeah. Yes, Ascension as well.
Yeah. Now it could be this year, because if you remember the ending of God of War, when Thor pops up, it says 2 years later, and it came out in 2018.
It's possible. That'd be cool.
So
they could use like the
they
engine.
could be being like, "Hey, PS5." What?
And they did the engine from the ground up for this one, right?
Yeah, and everything
So-
still works looks really good. Like it looks as good as I said as games that are coming out right now in 2019.
There's only one game visually that still appeals more to me, and that was
the Order.
The Order 1886. Like, it still has the best facial animation, but this game,
because you can really afford that when you cut down on gameplay.
when you only make a 5-hour
you
game.
take away playing the game at all, and then all of a sudden you have all this budget opens up.
Oh my gosh, like the beard hairs on some of those people.
Exactly, they were fantastic.
Look nice.
So what else do you guys have for 20?
Monster
We both have
Hunter.
Monster Hunter World.
Yes.
We both have over 200 hours in that game. It's fantastic.
Let me look this up real quick.
It was a social game. So we went over this. We had 8 people playing, including my wife. So it's the only like digital game I've bought on PS4, because if you share your accounts, or not share your accounts, what's it called? System Link? I don't know what it's called.
I think so.
It's something like that. But basically, I bought it, and then she could play it. So it was me and Jess, usually Cam, and usually Jimmy, always
there was
online.
Damien, there was Trey,
There was Luke.
There was, I mean, the weirdest thing are the people that didn't go on were like Devin, who was
Yeah.
like the big Monster Hunter guy.
Yeah.
And then John didn't really make it on very often either.
No.
I guess he was busy though. Yeah, I don't know.
Bitch.
Too busy for Monster Hunter.
But that game was
My notes
Special.
here are one of the best co-op experiences I've ever had in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Challenging but immersive. Lots of hours played, and then perfect balance between grindy and fun. Because the game had a lot of grinding in it, but I
Yes.
never felt like it was too much because you had such a good time killing the monsters.
aside. I had to fight the stupid Odogaron like a million times to
Yeah,
get
if you have really bad luck, then maybe
Yeah.
it pushes past the fun into the little bit
But
more grindy. But
just because I specialize, like my character specialized in either flying or big enemies, not small enemies, because my one, like, I pull vault into the air and I hit things in the air and stuff like that. But when it's only like a foot off the ground, like, it's so weird flying up into the air and then timing it so you
I literally
hit the
have it
ground,
on Xbox just to play with Phil, so you can experience it. We've kind of got past the point now where you have to do it solo, like the first couple.
Oh, okay.
missions.
He hasn't got to the Engineath yet.
No, he hasn't got to the Jaggers, like the Great Jaggers yet. That's the one where you can first invite a friend to help.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
if you like legit like this game, I bought Iceborne. No,
Yeah.
what the Iceborne?
Yeah.
Is it actually called Iceborne?
Yeah.
Iceborne.
Why do I? Oh, I'm thinking
Monster Hunter
Bloodborne.
Iceborne.
Sorry, Bloodborne's in my head. I bought it on PlayStation, so I am ready to play it. I think I have an hour left of installations, and I'll do that tonight. So,
It'll only take a couple more weeks.
hey,
Yeah, I don't know. Even Phil, if you like this game, I know it's really hard when you already own something. Like, it seems silly that some of you have for free on Game Pass and then go and spend $20 on it. But like, if you like the game, like, that's why I say test it when it's free. And if you like it, even just like the $20 cost for PlayStation 4, you have so much game time without even getting to Iceborne that we could be playing even before Iceborne comes
like
out.
I'll start a new character.
The difficult thing about it, though, is not only do I have to pay for the game, but then I have to buy PlayStation time.
You don't have PlayStation Plus?
No.
What?
How often? I don't play online games at all.
I just do it for the free games at this point.
Yeah, sometimes if you pick a month where the games are good.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
right now, Titanfall 2,
Yeah, well, Uncharted and Goat Simulator.
our next one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or this month.
But Ghost Simulator's free on Xbox Game Pass.
sure. The Uncharted collection is not, but I
Yeah,
already
it's
own
not.
it.
Yeah.
But
But no, Monster Hunter though, so much fun.
The one of my favorite gaming moments in multiplayer. So same where we was saying it was one of his favorite co-op experiences. There's a monster called the Engineath, and it's like the first. I wouldn't say wall, but it's definitely the first
It's
step in
challenging.
difficulty.
It's that first one you like really need friends for the
Yeah.
most part.
We were climbing up to its little cage or its little area that it sleeps, because they eventually get tired and they go to sleep, and then you can like put all your explosives and everything near it to trick it and explode. It got up there. We were climbing up the net. I was the first one up, I think, something like that. And no, I was definitely the second one up. You guys were fighting it, and I climb up, and immediately just this big fireball comes out, kills me instantaneously, and they're like, "Don't climb up," and I'm like, "What?" And I pop up and just immediately killed, fall down, and
It was a challenging game.
it's fun though, except for Kushlador. I hated that boss so much.
There's a couple of monsters that you just learn to hate, but lots of hours, lots of fun.
And you get fun names for them all too.
And even
'cause-
something like Iceborne, like we haven't played Iceborne, but like I've heard nothing but good things. Like I heard it's pretty much as long as the first game for like less money than it costs instead of then coming out with a new Monster Hunter. Just keep doing that. I'd be fine.
Yeah, you should get to the part where you can at least fight the Great Jaguarus to decide if you're gonna like the combat or not.
Yeah, even though it's a lame first boss, it's still a first boss.
Yeah, it's your first one, so it's fun though. You
I'll
should
give it
play
a
it.
shot.
So, all right, you got a third one.
I had one more game, yeah.
And I'm probably gonna feel really stupid if it's not the game I'm thinking it is. So you go first, though.
No, what game do you think it is?
No, I don't want to say it.
What game do you think it is?
No.
What game?
Is it Spider-Man?
No, Spider-Man's garbage.
Spider-Man's great.
No, I actually do have mention of Spider-Man somewhere else though.
Okay.
It's Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah.
That's one of my it's honestly.
See, I've forgotten it's a PS4 game. And,
yeah, it's hard to think about because the Switch, right?
Because the Switch one seems to be the one that everyone's playing. So
it's true. I own it on Switch. Still haven't played it yet because I haven't really needed to. Yeah, every time Phil talked about it, it made me want to go home and play it a little bit more because I played through it so intensely, and then every time he mentioned somewhere, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that part. That's so good when you do this.
And there's even parts that aren't.
Yeah,
in.
it's like 30% of the game. So I want to know if those 30% are actually a big difference, and then I'll buy the game.
Well, Phil at one part was he's like, oh, I'm playing as Sylvando right now after the whole thing. I was like, what? After the part, spoilers, where the world basically ends.
Yeah, the Idris still dies.
After that, in the new one, you play as all the other characters first, and you kind of see what they're doing.
Oh,
after,
instead of being the stupid fish. Yeah. Oh, well, that's neat. I hated the part with Sylvando where you had to walk with the parade.
Oh yeah, that part
super slow, and you're like, I hated that part.
After this point, I'd never beaten a Dragon Quest game before. We played Dragon Quest 8.
I beat 9.
No, 8. I think.
Shit.
What you're thinking of?
King?
Bandana
the Cursed King?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I beat that one.
So I played 8, but never beat it. I had a lot of fun. I was hooked on the story for Dragon Quest, even though it's super generic. It's one of those things where it's filled with
cookie cutter as fuck.
It's filled with every single trope imaginable for a JRPG, but they do it all so well, and they poke fun at themselves. All the monsters are super goofy, but you do really love the characters though.
Yeah, their names are all punny. They're
at the end, you could easily name all the characters, and you'd be like, "Oh, I really liked, Eric was my favorite because of this part," and they all had at some point their own pretty deep story, which is why I think that you have to beat the rest of it because you're missing out on a character's story.
Give it a couple weeks. And then go back in.
Though I did.
The ending ties up everything else. Basically, we're telling you didn't finish the game, but not in a mean way. You'll want to finish the game. It's not like Resident Evil 2 where you don't need to really experience everything else. This you kind of do need to finish it just to know what it's like to actually see the ending.
Because to me it's more like the first ending is a fake ending. It's not. I don't actually consider it's not the legitimate ending. I think it's a fake ending to kind of psych people out.
It's fighting a second form of a final boss. So you thought you beat the game, and then they're like, but there's more, and you're like, oh shit. So it's like when you were playing King of Cards and you thought you beat the game, but there were 3 more levels after it. It's the same thing.
Good. Fallout 4 at the beginning where he asked you to stay.
What?
Not Fallout 4. Sorry, Far Cry 4.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Where he asks you to stay, and then if you do,
I did that by accident.
But then you do the credits roll. You kind of beat.
Yeah,
That's kind of what this is. If you beat it at this point, it's that equivalent because you're missing on so much extra.
Yeah,
stuff.
I put it in, and then I went to go get a sandwich. I was like, cool. I don't want to start the game yet. I was like, and then I came back, and he's like, oh, you're still here, huh? And then beat the game.
The only downside is that Serena is so much better before.
She's so good.
She's so OP
because she's a white and she's a white and black mage, but that's a different game. But it's still the term, I guess.
Well, that's why in my notes here about Dragon Quest, it's that I've always been a big Final Fantasy fan, and then this, honestly, you notice that Final Fantasy 15's not on my list. While I had a lot of fun playing that game, it wasn't
a Final Fantasy.
It wasn't to the same level, certainly, as Dragon Quest and JRPGs.
True. Because
a lot of stuff like that, they're trying to be way too modern. When Dragon Quest just accepts what it is, it accepts the fact it's a goofy, cheesy JRPG.
I'd kind of be mad if they did. I can't really attest for how you guys felt when Final Fantasy 15 came out. Because Final Fantasy 15 as someone who didn't like turn-based games, I was like, oh, this is pretty fun.
Yeah.
But if they did something if Dragon Quest tried to do something like that and change the combat, I kind of feel
Dragon Quest Warriors.
Imagine the next Dragon Quest game is hyper realistic. They're driving around in fucking
Cadillacs,
motorcycles each, and it just all the enemies are now just tough bad guys and vests.
You're saying this, and I'm just picturing all the goofy enemies in tough jackets.
Yeah, picture a slime. He's got
he's just
one
got a
sleeve
biker vest
on, one sleeve not on. He's just badass as shit.
Yeah, I think in the future it'll be in my top games of all time.
Yeah.
But I just need to sit with it for a
fair.
little bit longer.
I'm
but-
just sad that Final Fantasy 15, one of my favorite Final Fantasy characters, is stuck in that game.
Who?
Aranea.
Oh, she was cool.
She's so cool. Her and Gladiolus
I
are
liked
like.
all the characters though. Like the game had
Me
a
too.
lot of things well. It wasn't that it was a bad game. It was just that
I just didn't like the funnel. Like it was big open world, chapter 8, and then just straight fucking line.
to me it was honestly the thing that the story at one point was too good that I just wanted to only do that.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I can still go do all these extra things, but like I need to know more about the
Oh, and
story
Sydney
now.
was
So
great too.
there's a lot of good characters.
Yeah.
It was a good game. It's just that it was missing some key things. Yoshi P, the game director for like Final Fantasy 14 MMO that I play a lot, he's been put onto a
Oh, I'm so happy
unknown
about that.
project, and a lot of people think it's going to be Final Fantasy 16. And all he said about it is that if he makes a mainstream Final Fantasy game, he's going to go back to like the roots, like a pretty classic.
Like no
RPG.
Magitech, just
Like, he doesn't want like a modern day one. He wants like a fantasy one. He's like it's Final
That's
Fantasy,
awesome. Yeah.
and he kicked ass with Final Fantasy 14.
And it's weird because I would actually be excited.
Like
I
he's
would
one.
actually pick it up.
You think of people like Todd Howard, for instance, right?
Sorry?
Sorry,
Todd
Todd Coward.
Todd Coward, yeah.
A lot of people don't like him. Someone like Yoshi P, you watch anything he walks up on stage, people are just cheering the shit out of him. He showed up on
the video or E3? The
E3 to
Square
talk
Enix
about,
ones.
he talked about Final Fantasy 7 when they were up on there and stuff
Yeah.
like that. People just love the shit out of him. He's such a he plays the game. Like he has a character in Final Fantasy 14. He goes on and like he'll do events where he'll play with people and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like
He's
he's
a cool
just
guy.
and he loves the fucking game, and that's what you want.
Yoshi
when-
P.
that's what you want to make the next game. So
Yeah.
that should be exciting. It's not proven, but I hope.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's kind of like how like Nintendo, everybody is like, oh, Sinon remake, it's coming.
I'd be down.
I'll play it. I didn't like Sinon originally, so maybe I'll.
But
like
I
it
think
now.
that the remake will make it really good.
Yeah.
Because I think the area was nice. Just I didn't like the DS ones.
Yeah, I just got bored of it at that point and didn't finish it. But
2019.
I only have one game on there,
I also have one game.
and it's probably going to be the same game.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
You know what? You should know what my game is.
Yep.
Phil, do you have any games for 2019?
No, I decided to not put anything from 2019
That's
on
fair.
the
My
list.
game's
Kingdom Hearts 3.
As I said multiple times, right in here, I said was exactly what I wanted from it, even though some were disappointed because I don't know. People are like, "Oh, this story's stupid." I'm like,
They're all
they've
stupid.
always been stupid.
Yeah.
If you take the time to read every other piece of side story and look at the fucking cell phone game and all that kind of stuff, the story makes sense in a really stupid kind of way. Not everybody has to do that, but if you want to be invested in a game, you got to put a little extra work in. That's all.
I just want them Disney Worlds.
But
See,
even
and
like-
I'm the opposite. I want more Final
yeah,
Fantasy
but even
stuff.
so, like, I don't know. I still said that I loved all the characters. I loved all the stupid story. Like I like that kind of shit. It's just dumb as all hell. The Disney worlds were mostly my only one that I didn't like was the
San Fran, Tokyo.
The only one I didn't, that one and Monsters Inc.
Oh, you don't like Monsters Inc?
It was all great hallways.
It's true.
Like,
it is all great
beauty-
hallways.
I didn't mind the world, but beauty wise, going into like Tangled or Frozen
Tangled
and
was
stuff like
so
that,
pretty.
they looked
The
really
Toy
good.
Story level. was
Yeah,
so
like the
fun.
Toy Story level.
Only complaint about Toy Story. You Got a Friend of Me on repeat was awful. Like,
That's probably what they thought people wanted so bad.
yeah, they're like,
too.
oh man, do this, and
people
I'm
like this song.
I'm
Well,
like, by the time I'm near the end of the world, I'm like, I'm never coming back here. I'll get the lucky emblems later, and that's
the
it.
only thing I'll say about Kingdom Hearts, which is I don't know if it's a positive or negative, is that when it first happened, I kind of wanted it to end, only so that all the questions I had from all the story would be answered.
Yeah.
But then I also kind of want a sequel though, because I was like, hey, I'll play this another.
Well, they said this
5
was supposed to be Xehanort's end.
Yeah,
Like that,
It was
like
the
this
end
was
of
the
his
end of his saga. And
yeah.
I was like, I kind of want like different characters and like, don't pick Donald and Goofy. Pick like, I don't know, like I can't think of anybody on the top of my
Daisy
head,
and
but
Pluto.
sign me up.
Yeah, our favorite characters.
Yep.
Chip and Dale, get them off the ship.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I know you guys probably like I don't mind the ending, but like the last little bit of the game, I wasn't a huge fan.
Did you see the ending or just the ending? Did you collect all the lucky emblems?
No, but I've seen like the video of like the guy opening up the box or not opening up the box.
But all that story makes like no sense if you don't know all the side story, which is like to me
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
It's like if you want a good ending, you gotta fucking earn that good ending. You gotta know some of the side story.
Listen, I'm just there putting in 30 hours, just doing the
That's what
bare
I'm saying. You're
minimum.
like the Kingdom Hearts casual is playing it for a lot of the Disney worlds.
That's what I'm there for. And
The Kingdom Hearts aficionado is playing it for that deep story. That's
See, I'm in the
10
middle way.
hours.
Like, I know the story enough to enjoy it, but there's still, I kind of miss the Final Fantasy characters. Seeing the weird mashup of, like, just randomly Squall in the middle of wherever was cool. Or seeing, I don't know, like Cloud just show up in the Hercules world, and you're like, whoa, Cloud,
I'm
what's he
hoping
doing there?
with the Final Fantasy characters adding for the DLC, there's a Sephiroth hidden boss.
That's honestly what it was missing for me too. I was like, I want to hear Lance Bass again.
Yeah, there was only one hidden boss.
He
It was
voiced
kind of
Sephiroth.
lame, but
That's hilarious.
who's the toughest person of all time? Lance Bass. And who's the toughest character?
Sephiroth.
Makes
so
sense.
it fits.
Makes sense.
The only thing would have been better if they got JT in there to voice someone too.
I kind of want a judge, like from 12.
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
I'd be down with a judge fight, like
Gabranth?
Gabranth. It would be cool. Yeah, we're just making up names. We're not.
Yeah, he doesn't even know these. I loved Chickawalk.
Oh,
in,
yes, Chickawalk
Yeah,
from
that
7.
one. Yeah. Yes. But that's 2019.
Yeah.
So the first question then is the best year of gaming overall.
For me, I would probably say 2015.
Because you had Bloodborne and you had other game.
It would either be. Just give me one sec here.
Okay, do you want me to tell you mine while we wait?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I have it written down.
Me too.
So my best year of gaming was 2018. I think we've talked about this. Actually, we talked about like the previous year compared to this year recently.
You said 18 was better, but
Yeah, so I have a couple things
19
written
was
down
better
here.
for
So,
you.
so game series like Monster Hunter, God of War, Dragon Quest, they all had big comebacks, and I wrote especially Monster Hunter and Dragon Quest because they made big impacts in the West.
Which doesn't normally happen.
Which normally doesn't happen. Like so many
Yeah.
Monster Hunter games come out and Dragon Quest games and no one cares, but these have now like cemented their place that it's going to keep happening in the future. I also said that Octopath is a big step forward for Square Enix's like smaller department for RPGs. So
Yeah.
something in the future could really help. There was other big successes like Spider-Man, Red Dead 2, Celeste, Super Smash Bros. Like
It was a really good year.
those are a lot of good games.
Yeah.
The Messenger.
And then also including obviously like the main ones that I had. I had 3 separate ones just from 2018.
Yeah, I even had Detroit Become Human. I was really
so
happy with
yours
that
is
game.
15, 2015?
Say yours.
Okay, mine is 2015 because of Bloodborne. Well, like Bloodborne was the big thing for me, but honestly, the year was solid total. So I wrote Bloodborne, The Witcher 3, Undertale, Mortal Kombat X, Rocket League, the first Splatoon, Until Dawn, Rainbow Six Siege. It maybe didn't have a great launch then, but it's fantastic now. Mad Max was really underappreciated.
Yeah,
that game was good. Crypto the Necrodancer is fantastic, and Phantom Pain were all 2015. So like, it's a pretty solid year. 2018 was my second. Like it was this like neck and neck.
I even think like 2010 here. I think is underrated because I
I
had
had nothing for 2010 on my
Yeah,
list.
I had Mass Effect and
Okay,
Mario
right.
Galaxy, but
so there's Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2, Donkey Kong Country Returns,
fantastic game.
Red Dead Redemption 1, Fallout New Vegas, BioShock 2, Heavy Rain, Super Meat Boy, Limbo, Halo Reach. A lot of good games for that time period, and then for
Halo Reach was really good.
Yeah, it was.
for 2015, definitely Bloodborne and
The Witcher.
The Witcher, 100%. Undertale was really good as well, but I was kind of disappointed with 2 of my most disappointing games for this entire decade: Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
Why is that your most disappointing game?
One of them. Have you seen that game?
That
Yeah,
game's a
but
fucking
I mean,
trash
like-
nightmare.
What was I expecting?
When was the last
decent
good Tony
game?
Hawk game?
Underground
Pro Skater
2.
2?
Underground
American
2.
Wasteland was actually pretty dope.
Real question though, are you picking up Skatebird?
Okay, and also Fallout 4 came out that year, but it was also the year that I
Fallout 4 came out to the 15.
yeah.
Holy shit. That
Yeah.
game was completely wiped off my mind. That's how bad I hated that game.
Because we're all thinking about 76 now, so.
Well, that's in a bad way. Yes, we're thinking about 76.
Also, as far as disappointment, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which was
Great
in
game.
2016. That game was garbage. 2017 was also a really good year. We had Resident Evil 7, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Cuphead, Horizon Zero Dawn, Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
That was a solid
It's
year.
not bad. It's no 2018,
Well,
but it's
for
good.
for me, that's definitely one of the highlights. The last 2017 and 2018 were phenomenal.
Yeah.
2019, I felt like
2019 was
stacking it up.
2019 in comparison, like there are some big things like you think this would have been the year because it had the new Fire Emblem, the new Pokemon, and I think they were both steps forward, but like
Yeah.
they're not like the final step yet.
Yeah,
We're
they're
at
not the
yet.
lunge forward. They're just the step
Yeah.
forward. But
baby steps into giant.
can we
strides.
agree that the latter half of this decade was better than the prior?
Can we
half
all
of
agree the
decade?
worst year was 2012? Apparently,
We
Oh,
because
yeah.
none of us had a game for 2012.
Yeah, it was like Borderlands 2,
Yeah,
which
we
I
looked up,
enjoyed. Okay, what else was it?
I have The Darkness 2, SSX, which I found pretty fun.
Yep.
Mass Effect 3, Max Payne 3, Lollipop Chainsaw,
Far Cry 3 actually, but that was a pretty good one.
Prototype 2, Borderlands 2, Resident Evil 6, Halo 4. Listen,
Actually, one of my favorite last gen games was in 2012, Spec Ops: The Line.
that game was surprisingly good.
Do you actually play it?
I have played it once.
Oh, you should play it again. It's really
I've
good.
never completed it though.
Oh, you should complete it. The ending's the best part.
But as far as disappointment goes, like Halo 4, one of the worst in the series. Resident Evil 6,
Street Fighter
actually-
Cross
I really liked
Tekken's a
Halo
bad
4.
game. I
Not like Halo Reach level. Halo 5 was.
Halo 5 was a
That was a disappointing game.
we
compared to Halo
so
4.
I brought over my copy of the game. Was it my Xbox or your Xbox at the time? It was my Xbox. You didn't have one at the
I was
time.
gonna say I probably got rid of it at that point.
And we were like, okay, man, we're gonna play this co-op, gonna split screen this. Fuck no, it wasn't. We were like, oh,
Got
I
'em.
guess we'll play this single player.
And we beat it in the single night.
You want to play Master Chief? Nah.
No, I want
you
to
get
play,
to play
Locke.
Was this his name?
Yeah.
The only good person on his team was Buck,
Ugh.
and that was Nathan Fillion.
How cool were the characters from Halo Reach though?
dope!
What was the dude with the skull? on
Emil?
his- Oh,
What
think was
about
his name?
Reach 2?
My favorite guy was what was
Halo
his
2
name?
Reaching.
George.
Was he the big guy?
The big guy.
Who,
He
like,
was
died
cool.
in space?
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah, I think his name might have been George.
Yeah.
So I guess now the biggest question then is the personal game of the decade.
Like the overall game of the day.
Your overall personal game of the decade, and maybe a small. We've obviously talked about every game now, so just a small reason why.
Yeah, Bloodborne for me.
It's fair.
Mine's so hard. Like my top 3 are so.
I feel like I
close.
could interchangeably pick 3 different ones
Yeah.
at the very least, but
Like if I can't. I'm pulling a Phil here. I can't pick a favorite. It's legit Persona 5, Breath of the Wild, or Bloodborne. One of those 3.
I have Breath of the Wild, The Witcher, or Bloodborne.
Yeah.
All 3 of them are.
I always really wish I liked The Witcher more.
I'm hoping that just playing it, I'll at least play it vicariously through her and might enjoy it.
So I mine would be like a tie between like Bloodborne still, and then the only reason that Bloodborne would tie with this one is Dragon Quest XI, is because it's still, as kind of Phil said before, it's not old yet.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Bloodborne's old, but Bloodborne's already at this point held up for
Bloodborne's 5 years
4,
old.
5
it's
years kind of
insane.
thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't look it either.
And
But I-
February? I think it came out February or
March.
March. Okay, yeah.
I
March,
honestly have no doubts in my mind that Dragon Quest XI will hold up. The art style they go with, that shit's timeless.
Yeah.
Like it'll always look fine.
I will play the Switch version just because I hated the music in the overworld music.
Yeah, 'cause you
The
want-
bum, bum, bum,
yeah, you
bum,
want the
bum, bum,
symphonic
bum. Yeah,
stuff.
I want the symphonic stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be much better.
So I'll say Dragon Quest XI and or Bloodborne.
So then, why don't we agree that Bloodborne is the best game of this
uni-
decade?
Universally. I
Yeah,
think we
okay,
can
that's
all-
fair. We can
all
agree with that.
Yeah,
with
I
feel
think
like
it's
we're
the
gonna have-
best next gen game. I think it's the best, like, game of this decade, just for the fact that it's in our top 3,
As
like
I
all
said,
3 of our
till-
top 3s.
On my Bloodborne spot, I wrote till maybe when Dragon Quest XI came out. It was still the best PlayStation 4 game to have come out.
Yeah.
Like, probably still is. I would maybe tie it with Dragon Quest because I really like that game. 2 very different games, though.
Yeah.
Like, nothing alike at all.
What are you talking about? The art style's so close.
Now, I'm interested to see what we have for most influential game of the decade. Because, once again, this doesn't have to be something that, I could pick The Witcher. I've never played it, but I know, like, the kind of like the prints it's left off on people, like what it's kind of done. But
I have 2.
okay,
I also have 2.
I only have 1.
Well, then
but
why don't
that's
you go
fine.
first?
Okay, so you're gonna hate mine though.
I'm not gonna hate
You're
it.
probably gonna hate one of mine at least.
Because mine,
You're gonna say Skyrim.
I'm gonna say Skyrim, and I wrote a little reason here. So as I said, Skyrim's not even my favorite Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Not even in my top 4 on there.
It's a game for casual scrubs. That's okay.
So one of the first games to make gaming cool and cross the line between gamers and regular normies. That was the gamer. Anyone in your school would be like, "Yeah, I play Skyrim." We're like, "Oh, you like video games?" They're like, "I like Skyrim." Like that was like it. You know, my sister would be playing Skyrim. There'd be girls who were at the school like, "Oh my god, I love Skyrim so
Guys,
much."
we missed a game of the decade.
Commander
Fortnite.
Keen? Oh yeah, my bad. We did. No one put that on the list.
when we get to my influential.
Oh
game,
dear God, no. Okay, well now I'm scared. But yes, like
you can't deny the influence of Skyrim, but the only thing that I would argue is it reinventing the wheel?
but it doesn't have to. It was like it wasn't reinventing the wheel, but it was reintroducing the wheel to
It
people who
didn't
had never
polish
seen
the wheel either, but yeah, it was just
Yeah.
a new wheel.
Yeah.
Some people have never seen the wheel before, and that showed them the wheel.
It's kind of crazy to think about that. Like that's someone's first like RPG.
That's a lot of people's first
Yeah,
RPG.
it's a lot. Did you know that old lady like the 81-year-old lady or whatever that plays that
Yeah.
game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's been requested to be a voice of an NPC in the next
I
game.
think they've already
cool.
like
She's recorded her
it.
lines.
But
and
as I
stuff
said,
like
though, the amount of like the mod systems for that, how the people are making this game look like the best game of all time in mods. People are
that.
still
Some of those
doing
anime
this.
mods are too creepy for me.
That's the
but-
thing, though. It's up to personal preference, but like I literally got a news on my phone, like a news pop on my phone
Yeah.
today about Skyrim. Still, I'm like, it's been fucking 8 years, and I'm still getting Skyrim news on my phone.
9
Yeah.
years, but
A lot of like, you meet any like people that I don't know. Even like if I take someone I just meet and they're like, oh, I like video games. I'm like, oh, like what's like a game you like? They're like, well, I really like I got into it around Skyrim time. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is what it is.
Yeah.
So influential, not necessarily for me, but for a lot of different.
once
people.
again, don't take my criticism of Skyrim like as a super
still a
negative.
good game.
It was a fun game. I enjoyed it. The memes now of like where like somebody gets knocked out so hard that they wake up in the carriage at the beginning is pretty funny. I really like those memes.
better than Fallout 4.
Yeah. You know what? I will say it is better than Fallout 4.
Can't deny that.
There's just so much to the game. Like I literally watched a video the other day that was like the best 10 new start mods. So it's like instead of you waking up in the carriage, it's like you can then pick where you randomly start you summon the world and there'll be a new story around that. You can start as one of the Stormcloaks or one of the Imperials. It's just a bunch of stuff. That's all.
All right, Phil. Why don't you go?
Okay, I'll give you both of them.
Okay, we already know one of yours is fucking Fortnite now.
One of them is Fortnite.
I have to verify the
Fortnite.
date on one of mine, so give me one.
So the thing about
Should
Fortnite,
not be from this decade.
I do feel really bad.
the thing about Fortnite is that I think it reinvented the whole free to play
Fuck.
for younger people.
Sounds like you only got one.
I gotta think of another one.
So I think it ushered in the generation of kids who went from
Is it
mobile
gonna be Minecraft?
It was Minecraft, but it's 2009.
that went from mobile gaming all the way up to like console gaming, and it really it was a phenomenon that really changed a lot of things, and we're seeing like the influence on other games and even like a lot of game studios. Everyone wanted to do a battle royale, and I know that Fortnite basically just copied what PUBG was doing, but they changed really like what PUBG was doing by making it completely free to play. You could obviously put money into it if you wanted to, but just when it came out, I know maybe not for our generation, and it's not even really a game that I fully love, but as far as younger generations go, I feel like they're always going to remember playing that.
Apparently,
game.
it's not cool anymore.
It isn't.
Yeah.
But
You
even
mean I learned the floss dance for no reason,
I
Cam?
heard from a parent who has young kids at school that now if you play Fortnite, you're lame.
What's
Yeah.
the new game?
I have no idea.
You don't play Epic. I don't know. I can't.
But I think for casual people, it ushered a lot of casual people into esports, which is huge. And just the same way that Skyrim was, I think like a lot of younger people who maybe didn't play video games before hopped on the video game train when Fortnite was released because it was universally on everything.
Yeah, to me, the only thing that takes away from Fortnite was the fact that I played PUBG.
Yeah.
And PUBG, it wasn't like PUBG was a small game and then Fortnite did the same thing and then was like huge because PUBG was big.
PUBG was also a ripoff of a different game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like but
Which
when,
is DayZ.
when
DayZ.
PUBG came out, like I've also owned DayZ, but that game sucked.
It's so bad.
When PUBG came out though, like it was like everyone was streaming it. You know, it was like it was also the thing.
It was fun.
And then Fortnite kind of did that too, but like did it again for like a slightly younger audience and like so obviously still big. Like you can't deny that fucking Fortnite was huge.
Apparently,
It's
the Call of Duty
made-
mode is actually really good.
It's
like
made
the-
some fucking big careers like Ninja stuff like that. You know, like
I think
Blevins.
it changed the landscape of video gaming in a way that like
just not a way that I like.
no, and I'm not like we're
Yeah, we
talking.
didn't say good influential.
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
said
It
influential.
influenced the industry in a way that can't be denied. And the other game that I was going to mention is Dark Souls, or you could technically say,
say
Demon
Demon
Souls.
Souls.
You could say that just for the reason that everyone's like, oh,
This
this,
is
game's like Dark Souls.
This
but
is the Dark Souls of indie games.
it's
This is
the Dark Souls of
this.
RPGs, Dark Souls of pixelated.
This is the Dark
monsters.
Souls of Dark Souls.
Like I think it kind of made it cool to be a hard game again. And you even see it in, I think, Breath of the Wild. There is some influence from Dark Souls. I think a lot of game developers saw what they were
did.
doing, and they were like, "Okay, this is really cool.
Like we
What can
don't
we
need
do
to
with
hold
this?"
hands anymore. Oh my
think-
god, we can make hard games, everyone.
I think that the only game that really didn't take any inspiration from Dark Souls was like Code Vein
Yeah.
instance. Like that one was a whole separate
It's a
game.
God Eater game.
Had nothing to do with it at all. Same with like Neo. You know, they weren't like it at all, which was kind of cool.
Oh God.
I'm trolling, obviously.
But yeah.
I could definitely agree with both of those. Not as I said, one of them's just like a negative one in my opinion, and one's like a more positive one.
So I had 2 games that were 2009, and I'm really pissed that they were
Both yours was 2009?
No. These were prior. So one of them was Minecraft, but the
Yeah.
other was League of Legends. For the fact that it was the esports game, like it was October 2009. But who the fuck played it in
before
2009?
that? You had like StarCraft and like,
But still, the jump from StarCraft to League of Legends. You can ask somebody, oh, have you played League? They can go, yeah, man, I played League. Like I'm Plat 1 or whatever, something like
I've
that.
never
That
played League.
I know you haven't, but most average people do.
Yeah.
But
maybe
my
you're saying you're above average, Phil.
ooh, there you go.
I would dab if I could.
But no, my 2 influential games. One of them is a game I beat recently, Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
It showed that indie games were where it started. It wasn't big AAA studios. It was a team of 5 or 6 people making a game. Like it wasn't, like I said, big studios making it. It was, I don't know how big the Yacht Club game team is, but it's not huge by any means. And it showed how popular something that isn't Call of Duty or a sports game or
But do you not
something.
think games on like the Xbox Live Arcade, like I think about like Braid for pioneering
Maybe
that. Or Super Meat Boy, sorry.
It definitely maybe Super Meat Boy, but I think the popularity of Shovel Knight. How many expansions has Super Meat Boy gotten?
5.
I don't
0.
think. Yeah, they didn't do any.
Super Tofu Boy?
That was a character you could play, but they've had 4 games total technically with like the 3 different extra playable characters and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
why I think it's like one of the top ones.
It's definitely influential as far as
Like I'm not being mean to the Hollow Knight people, but I don't think Hollow Knight would be where it is if they didn't see the popularity in making a small
What about
Shovel Knight
Cuphead?
studio. Cuphead? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's same kind of thing. Like they showed that games, and I wouldn't say Shovel Knight's easy by any means. It's not hard, but it's frustrating. But just like old games used to be, they showed that it was kind of like a time lapse of where games used to be and why we liked games back then. They didn't have to be super gory first-person shooters. This game, you walked around with a shovel and you just shoveled things. That's it.
it definitely showed that there was a market for those kinds
Yeah.
of games. 100%.
I'll definitely hear your second one before I make a comment. But...
Okay. Pokemon Go.
Okay,
Oh,
I
yes.
thought
Yeah.
no one said Call of Duty, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, it's technically like it's
Is it
last
influential?
generation.
In a bad way.
Yeah, but it's the last. It was the first Call of Duty was 2000.
But any Call of Duty.
Yeah, well,
But did it change anything in this decade?
it didn't change anything. Like Call of Duty 4. If Call of Duty
Yeah.
4 came out this decade, absolutely. But I'm pretty sure it was 2007.
2000. Yeah. Because that game
2000
was definitely influential. It changed first-person shooters, online shooters.
2007. Yeah, look at me. But yeah, so last decade. But if you said that game, absolutely, I would have said Call of Duty was the big one. But from what it would have been Black Ops in 2010 and on,
Yeah, that's the last one I played too.
I played World War II. I actually really enjoyed that, but just I liked the World War II aesthetic. It was cool. But Pokemon Go, yeah. You can ask anybody's aunt and uncle if they loaded Pokemon Go just to be hip and cool. They did.
I can get behind that.
It was strange as like a Pokemon fan.
It was a phenomenon.
It's where you could separate the Pokemon fans and Pokemon Go fans.
Yeah.
I saw a funny picture and it was just like Pokemon Go fans think they know everything about Pokemon, and then it's just like real Pokemon fans, and it showed like IV training and like stats and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
it was
made me laugh.
definitely it was a big thing. It also kind of changed a lot with like cell phone games. Like obviously cell phone games.
Just having people go outside.
Yeah, it made people get off their fat ass and go catch Pokemon.
and like find dead bodies and stuff. Yeah, that's
There was a lot of that.
that's what I'm saying. They're doing the
Murderers
doing
are
the
probably
police
like,
work.
man, we can't murder anybody outside anymore. Someone will find it in your Pokemon Go.
Definitely don't murder anyone near a Pokemon.
Or
Go
people
stop
like
or
using
whatever.
lures to lure kids and steal
Oh,
glasses.
There were some negatives to it
Yeah.
too, but in general though, I think it was big for cellular gaming,
Yeah.
big for microtransactions.
Oh hell yeah,
They made a lot of money.
yeah.
but good for them.
And
Like,
even I had a news article pop up the other day about how Pokemon Go, it has like a lot less people playing it, but the people that are playing it love it more than ever.
Yeah, because they've added more
They've
gens.
upped the game a lot.
Are they in 5th gen? I think they're 5th gen now.
I haven't turned it on in a long time.
Neither have I, but
Because I don't like to move outside.
It's fair. That's fair.
When it was out, I was living in Belleville, and I remember going to like the park at like 10 o'clock with my friend James and going with Christy, and we met up with a couple other people that I work with, and we spent like 2 hours catching Pokemon and met up with a bunch of random people, and it just felt like there's just such a community aspect of it.
I see, like, so we go to our local park here, and we see people like multiple phones. I was walking in the park with my kid, and I still saw people midday, not night, not like after close, like not 5 o'clock. It was like 1 in the afternoon, and they're sitting there with 2 phones and tapping their
People still
Pokemon
play
and
it.
catching.
People still love it.
Yeah.
Good for them. It's for me, I kind of got a little tired of it, and it just faded to obscurity.
The social aspect of it was fun. It was good. Yeah, people were hanging out with their friends more. Yeah. You're with weird crews just hanging out. A lot of fun.
I remember walking downtown and seeing a person I see in the mall regularly, and I'm like, "Oh man, you're playing Pokemon Go?" He's like, "Yeah, man, this is pretty sweet. I just caught a blank," and I was like, "I fucking hate that Pokemon, but cool."
Play that game, you weeb. Get out of here. I'm playing Call of Duty Go. When's that coming out?
I don't know.
But yeah, I guess Phil, you really wanted to go over your indie games real quick.
Yeah,
I also have some.
I just have a top 10 list.
I didn't do them in order. Classic Phil. But
I'm just gonna read them out loud.
Okay.
Number 10, Firewatch.
Didn't play it.
It's pretty good.
It was good.
It's a good walking sim. Good story.
Classic.
Number 9, Inside.
Also good. Didn't play it.
If you guys get a chance, you should pick up. There's like a bundle pack.
I liked Limbo.
Yeah, if you like Limbo, you should get Inside. The ending really like messed me up.
It's pretty
Limbo
fucked up.
come out.
The ending's awesome.
Last gen or like 2005. I think.
No?
Like that. No, it wasn't 2005. It was 360. So 2000.
2010.
It was
2010?
2005. Was that
2010. Holy shit.
Number 8,
Yep.
Shovel Knight.
Yep.
We've already discussed that. Number 7, Super Meat Boy.
Yep.
I remember when that came out. I had it on PC.
But you're a
and
vegetarian.
He plays
pescatarian.
tofu mode.
That's fair.
But I thought that game was really sweet, and I always liked platformers as a kid, and I felt like that was a good.
I thought that game was more savory.
Okay.
Good one.
Number 6, Undertale. Undertale. If you've ever played it, it's really
Funny enough, I hate that game.
okay. Have you ever tried to delete your save?
Yeah,
It's
I love all
hilarious.
of the things in the game. I just don't like it.
The 4th wall breaking is hilarious. I've played through it twice. I don't want to spoil why I played through it twice.
Yeah,
But
genocidal run and non-genocidal.
Yes. But it's such a good game, and it's kind of running on the bones of like Earthbound. If you ever played that game.
I have
is
played
dope.
it. Mother actually, but that's fine.
Under Undertale, I have Limbo, another game that I was like really taken back by. I thought it was really interesting when I saw the gameplay. It's nice and dark.
Very visually stunning,
Younger emo Phil, love that game.
Yep, Snakebite Phil.
Number 4, I have Celeste. Celeste, I think, is a tiny bit overrated, but still very good. That game is going on the bones of Super Meat Boy, but I really like the
Storytelling's good in it.
the storytelling, the mental health aspect of it, what it's trying to tell you.
The music's good.
While being difficult, and it also dealing with things like mental health.
So will you
Makes
give
it feel
me
better.
$100 if I can guess your top 3?
Did you already see my phone?
No, I bet you I can guess it though. Maybe I
Okay.
can't, but
Yeah.
I will guess Hollow Knight, The Messenger, and Shovel Knight.
You already said Shovel Knight.
Oh shit, that means I need a third one.
The third one should be pretty easy.
You underestimate my power of not knowing indies.
We already
yeah.
discussed one of them. I'm pretty sure that Andrew could probably tell you what the other one is that I haven't mentioned.
Is it Bastion?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Braid?
Nope. That came out in 2007
Yeah.
or 8.
Okay, go for it. I don't.
So The Messenger,
Yep.
which is number 3.
Yep.
Love that game. I love how it switches styles. I think
Mhm.
I'm surprised that I put it above like things like Shovel Knight and Celeste, but over time, like really sitting with it, I enjoyed it. Also, play the DLC. The DLC is great.
I will eventually.
Number 2, Cuphead.
Oh, right,
fuck.
yeah. That's
yeah.
dumb.
Okay. Yeah.
That game, from the very beginning when I saw the art style, I was like, this is going to be dope. And then when I played it, I was like, this is insanely hard, but it kept me around, and I love
beat
that
it?
game. I have beaten it.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't.
It's so hard.
I beat the B, and then the one after it I couldn't do.
I
don't
told
remember
you,
what it was.
bees are always the worst in video games.
Fucking awful.
The boss gauntlet at the end as a
There's another one. I'm never gonna.
yeah,
beat it.
it's a nightmare.
I gave them my money. That's it.
And then obviously number one, is
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is my second favorite game ever, underneath Bloodborne.
And Mass Effect Andromeda. Yes.
I will beat Hollow Knight by the end of this year.
And I'll be Persona 5 by the end of this year.
Okay. So I also brought an indie list. Mine's no in particular order. I just thought of the ones that I've enjoyed the most in the last bit. So starting off, Mount Your Friends. No, I'm kidding.
Spelunky.
No.
What about Untitled Goose Game?
So that's on there. So this is in no particular order. I have Enter the Gungeon. I really like that game. That game is
I'm
fantastic.
disappointed that I didn't put that on my list. I
Yeah,
love that game.
I bought it on Switch recently for like dirt cheap.
Crypt of the Necro Dancer. And then was...
Okay.
Have you played?
So-
have you played
Dumbledore
Enter
one.
the Gungeon?
No.
It's co-op. I'll bring it over next
Dude,
time. And we can
Dungeon
play.
spelled with a
It's
D.
it's like it's like $8, man, and it's so fun, and there's so much content.
It's like Binding of Isaac, but less creepy. Everything's like
I
cute
also
little
don't
bullets.
like Binding of
Neither do
Isaac,
I.
even
don't
though
like
it's done by the same guy who does Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
but I
I'm
do
guessing
never
the
liked
Zelda Crypt of the Necro Dancer
Okay,
on your list.
so Celeste is on there. It's a good game. I also agree that it's a little talked about too much, but it's really fun. Transistor.
Yes.
I really like the Transistor. I don't normally buy double up on buying games, but I bought it for my Switch. I'm gonna play it again. Really good.
I've never completed it. I've only completed Bastion. And I haven't completed the third one. What's the third one called?
It's Hades. It's on. Oh no, it's not anymore. It's on Steam now. So, but it was an Epic
When
Store
it comes
exclusive.
to the Switch, maybe I'll play it.
Me too. So The Messenger, also Phil's gone over it. It's a good game. Cuphead, also a good game. So these two are more that they're fun party games, and that's why I've enjoyed them so much, because we've played a lot of them. You can probably guess one of them. Multiplayer indie game. Played a lot of it.
The one with the
Towerfall.
bows.
Towerfall. Towerfall is one of the games. The next one you will know, but you won't guess it. It's Star Wars. We played a lot of Star Wars.
I don't even know what that is.
So you play narwhals. So you know what a narwhal is, I'm
Yes.
assuming. Okay, but you have a heart on you, and your goal is to stab the other narwhal's heart. But the controls are dog shit. So you're like flopping around trying to hit. It's fantastic.
It's a lot of fun.
It's really good. I have Shovel Knight, Untitled Goose Game, and Cadence of Hyrule. But they're in no particular order, so take what you will. They're all really fun.
Was
how
Cadence of
long?
Hyrule really an indie game, though?
Yes, it's done by the Crypt and the Necro Dancer guy. They just have a Nintendo license, is all.
How long did it take you to beat Untitled Goose Game?
4 hours, I think, maybe
Okay,
tops. And that's really slow because I got stuck on one of the puzzles.
maybe I'll
Is it the rake and the like?
No, that one's actually pretty easy. I don't know why I had so much trouble with that.
maybe I'll play through it.
It's free
Do
on
you have
Game
it?
Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
Oh, I was just I could load it up right now. You can play it right now.
Free on Game Pass.
You should play it. It's really good. You should also play Cadence of Hyrule. I know
Not
you're
for
not a
me.
huge Zelda guy, but it's really, really good.
I once tried to play Crypt of the Necro Dancer.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
It's okay. Crypt of the Necro Dancer is actually really hard. Cadence is a lot easier, and it's when you die, the world doesn't change. Like it's when you load up the game, it's all randomly generated. But when you die, it just you respawn at the local. I think it was Fairy's Fountain or the statues, and you would just move on. The music's fantastic. Obviously, I'm not being mean, but you're not the biggest Zelda one. Like
No.
if I played a song, you wouldn't be able to tell me what
No.
game it came from.
No.
I could do that. They do awesome remixes of it, and getting into the battle. Once you get into the rhythm of the game, it's so fun. It's such a good game. It's really good.
I know my buddy James absolutely loves it.
It's so
and he
good.
was speaking its praises, so maybe someday.
Yeah, the DLC just came up for it. I haven't played it yet, but it's free, so I'm gonna play it eventually.
Yeah, maybe my goal in 2020 will be to play more indie games.
Honestly, for like $15, you get a good time out of them.
It's
Like
also-
they're fun.
I find indie games, like I didn't used to be a big indie guy. Like I definitely took a couple of years off. But I find they're good palate cleansers for the AAA games. Like I like playing an indie game after I play like a nice, like meaty AAA game.
Like I was playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I was like, you know what? I was like, there's not much coming up for the Switch right now. Like I've got maybe 100 hours in Zelda. I was like, I think I need something else. So I bought a Nintendo card and I bought Shovel Knight, and that was my like something completely different. It's 2D platformer instead of a 3D open world game, and that really helped me get time into both of them. Was doing that. It was good.
Yeah.
I really like my indie titles.
Sure. So is that all your indie games?
That's 10 of them. So yeah.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
all of our top 10 games of the decade.
Yep.
Our number 1 game of the decade and our most influential, followed by your guys' indie list. So I think that's everything we have to talk about.
I think so. I think that's everything, my good sir.
So then I guess we'll just finish by talking about where you can find everything for us. So we have an Instagram. It's hashtag LocalPlayOnly on Instagram. Phil normally posts a lot of different pictures. I posted a lot of pictures recently, but most of it was just working on the room and the audio and stuff like that. You're more of our game guy.
Yeah, I like just posting different.
I'm too old to
content.
social media, so I'm just here.
We do have a Twitter account now too. Now I think we only came out with like one tweet, and that was just saying when our episode's going live. It'll probably remain the same. Maybe some sick dank memes or something.
We could do the memes. I'm a meme man. I can do memes.
I'm terrible at memes. I'm too old.
I just finished saying I was too old.
But even so, that's just to kind of let people know when episodes are going up. We have our YouTube. You can just search Local Play Only. It'll be linked on our Instagram as well. So if you go there, you can find it.
What, it's Wednesdays videos go up?
Tuesdays.
So
Okay.
Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time, videos will be up.
Cool.
The audio on Podbean and Spotify, just by searching Local Play Only, will probably be the same time, honestly, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. I figure most people are probably going to go to the videos first because that's how a lot of people like watching their podcasts.
We're a little behind on last week's episode, but
Yeah, but I mean, most people who are on YouTube, they would have
Yeah.
seen it by now, which is kind of nice. That's what we spent all this time for, to fix this place up.
I'm happy we're at like over 50 views on the first app.
oh,
Yeah, that's good.
Good. Just gotta
makes
get
me
some
so
more.
proud.
Gotta get some more subscribers.
Yeah, the other thing too is we do want to start Twitch streaming. To do that, there's a couple small things we need to work on for Twitch.
Ian can buy
But our
bots.
Twitch account is the LPO Podcast is the Twitch name. So it's a little
Hashtag
It's a
LPO.
little different. It's not going to be anything special. I don't think we're going to be on there streaming fucking Apex Legends or anything like that.
Nah.
It's mainly just going to be this just streamed. So eventually, if we actually have viewers, you can answer questions, stuff like that. There could be a fun little segment.
Oh,
Cool stuff like that.
people are gonna be like, "Man, you guys suck," and be like,
I
"You
can't wait.
suck."
All I want is criticism.
Me too.
So
I like
if you're watching this and
Critique
you're watching
us.
it on YouTube, go in the comments. I don't care if you hate us, if you like us. Just get in the comments and say something, because it's fun. It's fun to read. It's fun to get those
And like
notifications.
and share the video.
Sure, like and share the video too, and keep an eye out. We're probably going to be posting hopefully some like schedules for episodes either on Instagram or Twitter. Maybe certain episodes going to come in a couple of weeks with certain guests we're going to announce, stuff like that, like depending on the episode.
We can also take like recommendations on episodes if somebody really wants to see us do a review on something
Naruto.
stupid. Yeah,
Naruto.
Naruto.
Then
Ultimate
we will do
Ninja
that.
3.
Listen, we're dying to make an anime episode.
I know it's gonna be so good.
It's going to happen. Maybe when the 2020 anime first comes out, we'll make one for the new season.
Yeah, I need to catch up on some of last year's, but
That's fair.
I will do that.
But yeah, so
I
just
have free
keep an eye out. Instagram, honestly, is the first place to go. It has all of our links in it. I don't know if it has our Twitter and Twitch in yet, but it will very shortly. And other than that, guys, I think we're all good. So once again, I am Cam.
I'm Phil.
And I am Andrew.
And have a good night, guys. And thanks for listening.
Stay tuned for our next episode, Local Play Only.